because I'm sure we have been marketing, we have been publicizing this. Maybe you've just been ignoring it, like, let's just, and then finally at this point, you're thinking, okay, let me just see what this is about. If you are, we want to see all the continents of the world in this conference. I mentioned something yesterday that this is a global conference, and you would see even from our coaches, we had our coach, oh yeah, Esther take us through yesterday and even impromptu earlier today, joining us from the Netherlands, dropping her special nuggets and speaking with passion as always, joining us from the Netherlands. We also had Nigeria, we had Canada. We are about to go to Canada again just in a few minutes. And then, of course, earlier today, we had Nigeria again, and we had Qatar. So this is a global conference, global speakers, global coaches. So we are expecting global attendees. We want to see every continent of the world represented here. Please drop your flags. Is it Middle East? Is it Asia? Is it Africa? Is it Europe? Vision Guide is joining from the Netherlands. Okay, Europe already represented. I want to see some flags, please. Nigeria is here. Africa is represented. Flags, please. Flags, please. Flags, please. Every continent of the world must be represented in this conference. Already the coaches have represented nearly. I think Asia is the only one that's missing. The coaches of this conference are representing and joining us, have been dropping their nuggets from every continent of the world minus Asia. So if we have Asian participants, very well done to those of you who have done the inviting. Please keep dropping your flags. Please keep letting us know. Thank you. So, wow, Qatar, okay. Middle East is represented. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Middle East is being represented. Europe is being represented. Africa being represented. Asia is remaining. Can I see the flags, please? Can I see your flags? Type where you are joining us from. We want to see South Africa being represented. Okay, Nigeria is west. Okay, why not all the areas? East, south, west. Let's see all of Africa represented in addition to the other continents. Please drop your flags. We really want to see how far this conference is really going. As I mentioned in the vision and the mission, we are here to impact globally. You would see even from the coaches who are taking the sessions, they are represented from the four corners of the earth. This conference is being held virtually in order to reach the four corners of the earth. So we want to see that the four corners of the earth are being reached through this means. We thank God for technology that allows us to do this. Please keep dropping your flags. Please write while you're waiting. What have you learned so far? What is your major takeaway between yesterday and today? What is the one thing that you will be putting into practice, whether you are a single, eligible single, I stand to be corrected, eligible single, whether you are intending a couple. We know that we had some couples who are engaged to be married. Congratulations to you. Those who are engaged, intended couples, those who are married, what have you learnt that you are going to be putting into practice? What are you going to be taking away? What are you going to be doing? I know for the married couples, there was a lot of instruction given yesterday by Coach Prevail. Also, yesterday by Coach Prevail, earlier today with Coach Ayo, giving the married couples some things that they should do when it comes to communicating. Coach Prevail mentioned yesterday having one day in a year, having a sit down, doing the vision board. Are these things that you would want to take away? Are these things that you want to put into practice? What about if you're an eligible single? What did you learn? For me, I learned about self-awareness, self-assessment, self-advocacy. I love what Coach Chidima, and I think Coach Chidima so far, I stand to be corrected, her session was the most engaged. We actually had to stop the questions. So many questions for Coach Chidima. I said in our group chat, the fire emojis were flying. She did such an amazing job. We appreciate you for everything that is being done, everything that is being shared. I love when she said yesterday that should she meet somebody today, and she tells them her vision and her mission and what she is on the person will want to marry her immediately. Can you imagine such confidence? I don't know if all the eligible singles in the house can say the same thing. Maybe we're still in a place of wondering, but she said it with so much confidence that if she was to meet somebody today and tell them why she's on the face of the earth, there's no doubt. She didn't doubt it. She didn't think about it. She said the person would want to marry me immediately just because of what the capacity that she carries and what she wants to do and what she knows she's been placed on the earth for. We want to say thank you. Please drop in the comments. What are you taking away? What is the one thing that has stood out to you so far? Miss Gertrude joining from Cameroon. Thank you. Okay, another area of Africa represented. I told you, keep dropping the flags. We want to see all continents of the world represented. East Africa, North Africa, West Africa, South Africa. Which continents are we waiting for? Middle East is represented. Africa is represented. Europe is also represented, dreaded by the vision guide. Thank you so much. Please let me know, what are you expecting from the second half of the day? The second half of day 2 is jam-packed. If the media team don't mind putting up the schedule for this afternoon, the schedule of the 2 days, we can go through what we'll be covering this afternoon. Our first session, which will be coming up shortly by the one and only Coach Prevail, who took us through. If you were here for yesterday's couples alignment session, then you know that you're in for a treat. So we have the first session with Coach Prevail. We'll be going into responsible AI. Wow. We all know that AI in the world that we are living in is very, very significant. It's not going anywhere, whether we like it or not. It is here. How best can we use this responsibly? We have a fantastic speaker, well-educated, well-versed with this topic, who will be taking us through. Bright is joining from Ghana, West Africa. Okay, West Africa also represented. Welcome, welcome, welcome Ghana. Welcome to West Africa. Welcome to the Middle East. Welcome to Cameroon. Keep the flags coming. Let me know where you are joining from. West Africa, East Africa, which continent of the world. We currently only have Netherlands represented from Europe. Anyone from UK? Anyone from Spain, Italy? Let's see other areas of Europe represented as well. Thank you so much, media team. So we're just coming back from our break. We will be having our intimacy session with Coach Prevail. Like I said, if you were with us yesterday, you know that you are in for a treat. We have our responsible AI session. This is for all. And of course, rooted in vision and fruitful in life. That will be taken by the one and only Coach Oye Esther. And I have to give a special thanks to her. If you notice what happened earlier this morning, she just gave an impromptu session on teenagers and mental health. Impromptu, unplanned. This is what, and I said something very significant yesterday. If you listen to each and every speaker, each and every coach, including Pastor Pat, who took us through a very impactful session before the break, passion is the one thing that is common amongst all of them. And she spoke so effortlessly, and it's the passion that enabled her to do so. And of course, the grace of God. We want to say thank you for being so fluid and so flexible for us. We really, really appreciate it. And of course, we're looking forward to that final session, rooted in vision and fruitful in life. So this is what the remainder of this journey looks like. Please, 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 if you know anybody who is yet to join, if you know anybody who has not yet joined any of the sessions, it is not too late. We have been on a journey. We have been gaining our building blocks and building our houses and moving forward, but it is not too late for anyone. So please send the link. Let them know that we are back. Thank you for everyone who has made it back. Continue to share the link, continue to let everybody know, continue to make sure. The aim is to have every continent represented in this conference. I'm going to stick with that. Every continent has to be represented. If I don't see the flag, I will be sick. I will not be the happiest host. If you don't, if you want a happy host, please keep dropping your flags. The intention is for every continent to be represented in this conference. So please keep dropping your flags. And without further ado, I know you're tired of hearing my voice. You want to get into the nitty-gritty of things. Please, with a round of applause, we'll be handing over for our first session of this afternoon to the one and only Coach Omatayo Prevail. Media team, please proceed with the bio video. God bless you.
Omoteo Prevail is an intimacy growth coach and strategist, inspirational counselor, and family life practitioner passionate about strengthening marriages, families, and purpose-driven relationships. As the lead coach at Omoteo Prevail Coaching Studio, he specializes in intimacy growth, premarital and marital counseling, conflict resolution, effective communication, and intentional family building. His approach combines practical wisdom, emotional insight, and faith-based principles to help individuals and couples build deeper connections, unity, and lasting fulfillment. Omoteo is a certified family life practitioner with professional certifications in life coaching, neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, emotional intelligence, EQ, and hypnotherapy mastery. Beyond coaching, he is also a ministry leader, worship singer, songwriter, author, and speaker committed to empowering lives through transformational teaching and mentorship. He has been happily married for over 17 years and is a proud father of 3 beautiful nations. Welcome, Coach Prevail, to the Holistic Family Life Conference 2026.
Thank
Coach,
you
you
so
are
much.
welcome once again. We appreciate
Thank
you. The floor is totally yours. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you once again to the conveners. Thank you to Coach Esther Oye. Thank you to Malika for doing a great job at anchoring. Thank you to all the coaches who have spoken before me. Thank you to Pastor Pat as well. Forgive me, yesterday, I don't know how it skipped me to, acknowledge her. And she was all video open, but I guess I was carried away with my, beautiful Pastor Pat. God bless you. Thank you for your contribution to this. And thank you to everyone who has made it their, goal to be part of this conference as well. So yesterday we talked about moving together as a couple. And I want to believe that for the married couples, you actually did try one of those nuggets. But if not, fine. The weekend is still, very, very long. You can still make it a point of duty because it's going to really, really, really help. All right, today I've been given the task to address seeing clearly and living, fully. So I'll probably share my screen right now, and we can make progress. Run swiftly. All right. Can we all see my screen?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
All right. Okay. So today we're talking about see clearly, live fully. And yesterday you would notice that I have this style of asking questions, because one of the things I realize about life is when we ask the right question, we will be able to address the issues in our lives, either personally, maritally, or otherwise. Instead of asking why me, instead of asking, oh, why should this thing happen to me? The question should be, okay, what exactly is this issue? Remember yesterday we talked about having to name certain things, because where repair begins is to be able to name the exact issue, and then we'll be able to navigate. So today we want to see how to wipe our lenses clean, marital lenses, love lenses, relational lenses, communication lenses, wiping it clean so that we can see clearly. Remember also yesterday we talked about the fact that our vision cannot be on that road that is foggy. It has to be clear. So when we see clearly, we will be able to live life fully, because there is a kind of family life we were made for, and it has to be addressed with vision and intentionality. So we move. I'll start with this question again. When did you last truly look at your spouse? Not to assess them, not to problem solve any issue, but simply to see them. I want you to please internalize this question. As a married woman, as a married man, when was the last time you truly look at your spouse? Not to, assess them with respect to how they dress, how they look, what they do, or the kind of issues, that we have once in a while, but to truly simply see them for who they truly are. This is one question that you want to, put in your note, or you want to pin somewhere that you can consistently ask yourself. Now, the next question is, when did you last look at your own life and ask, is this the life I intended to build? Is this the life I, plan to build? This is also very crucial, because sometimes we get lost in marriage and we lose ourselves. We lose our identity. We lose that vision that was burning when we were single, when we were little, when we were growing up. There is this picture we consistently saw. And then the moment we got into marriage, life began to life. Like one of my professors would say, life is lifing. Every day, life is lifing. And then we just forget. So this question goes to each and every one of us, whether married or single right now. When did you last look at your own life and ask, is this the life that I intended to build? So I'd like for us to make progress. Once again, I believe majority of us are Christians and believers, so to speak. And this scripture, we are very conversant with it. Where there is no vision, the people perish. The word perish in Hebrew means para. And what does that mean? It means to let loose, to be unrestrained. So, meaning that when there is no vision, personally or maritally, things will happen to us that we become like an individual or couple who are not restrained or tamed by the help of the Holy Spirit or by the help of God. We do things the way we want, anyhow, whenever we like. So I want to tell this story of a faded photograph. And it's the story of a couple, like I did yesterday. The name of the actual people, definitely. So these are names that, I just cook up. And if your name is Yemi and your husband's name is Tolu, please pardon me. That's not you. We're just, hooking up. But this is a true life story. By their year one in marriage, they were completely present, both of them, completely present, completely alive to one another, completely together, completely, how the love bubbles in the beginning of marriage. Honeymoon, from honeymoon, we do things and then everybody is bubbling. And then 10 years down the line, on their anniversary night, Tolu stopped and then looked at the photo, because there were pictures that they had, during those first year of their marriage. But this particular one was the picture where both of them had, looked into each other's eyes, and then they actually saw each other. The picture really came alive. And then quietly, 10 years down the line, Tolu stopped and then looked at the photo, because there were pictures that they had, during those first year of their marriage. But this particular one was the picture where both of them had, looked into each other's eyes, and then they actually saw each other. The picture really came alive. Tolu said to the spouse, when did we stop looking at each other like that? Maybe this is a question for someone on this call right now, or someone watching online. Between you and your spouse, when actually did you guys stop looking at each other for real? When did you stop seeing each other, or do you still see each other? It's very important, because as we progress, we'll see something. And I'm so excited about that concept that I want to teach about this morning. All right. This is actually what happened. They didn't lose their love, but they lost sight. They lost sight of who they were each seeing right from when they were courting, the first year of their marriage. You know, you can love somebody and that person will cease to be in your radar. You are not being wicked to the person. You still do your normal activity to the person. You still go about sacrificing and all of that. But deep down, there is no connect with that love that is real, that is true. So both of them didn't actually lose their love, but they lost sight of who each other used to be or is supposed to be during the course of their marriage, just within 10 years. And so this is the lesson. Familiarity does not deepen sight. It can actually cloud it. Familiarity does not deepen sight. That we are close to each other does not mean, oh, we are seeing each other deeply. And you and I will understand this better when we think about where we live or where we work or where we worship. You know, there is this thing that happens to us, that when we first get into a space, everything looks new and then we see everything. But the moment you spend 3 weeks, 3 months, 1 year, majority of those things, you don't see them anymore. Even when they become dusty or rusty, you don't get to see them anymore. Only the things that you choose to see, those are the things that you begin to see. For example, a signpost for maybe a ministry or an organization. Everyone has been going through that spot, moving in and out. But over 1 year or 2 or 3 or 5, you won't even know when the bulb, if for example, the signage is the one that has light in it, you may not know one bulb has gone off. Everybody just keeps going. Sometimes I see signposts and I'm like, this organization is big. Why is T out of the name on the signpost and nobody seems to see it? That's what happens. Proximity or familiarity does not deepen our sight. It can actually cloud it. We stop seeing the person and start relating to a mental image of who we think they are. Because the first picture we have of that thing or of that person or of our spouse is already there. Maybe the days when we were courting, or is the picture of how he or she looks on the day of the wedding. And then it becomes a mental picture. And that's the way we are relating with a person. So there are 3 blindness in family life. And those blindness, we want to address them. Blindness to self, blindness to your spouse, blindness to possibility. Blindness to yourself. Remember the question we asked earlier. When last did you stop seeing yourself? Or when was the last time you actually looked at yourself and saw yourself? So blindness to self, blindness to your spouse. Remember the question as well. When was the last time you actually truly saw your wife or husband for who they truly are? Then blindness to possibility. Let's move fast. The first blindness, blindness to self, unexamined wounds, unchallenged assumptions, unresolved patterns brought into marriage. Take note, unexamined wounds. What were those wounds that I have carried from my childhood days? What were the trauma that I'm still carrying in my relationship? Those things, what has it done to me emotionally, mentally? And am I still living in that space, even within my marriage? The wounds that I have refused to examine, the wounds that I have refused to question, the ones that I have refused to check, unchallenged assumptions. What are those assumptions about myself, about my spouse, about my marriage, about my relationship? Oh, I assumed that my husband loves when I speak to him this way. And then I've continued in that for 10 years. But something happens that when I speak to him like that, his mood changes. The atmosphere around him changes, but it doesn't declare it. But I have refused to pick it. I have refused to pick the signal because I have assumed he loves that kind of communication. He loves that kind of conversation, or she loves that kind of touch. She loves that kind of move. She loves that kind of play. Unresolved patterns brought into marriage. The pattern with which you spend money when you were single, is it still the same pattern you are using on the family finances? What kind of pattern of parenting have you brought in? Is it the style that your parents or my parents used that I'm still using in my marriage? What are those templates that I've not tried to, scatter the table or shake the table and then get back to the drawing board and redraft the thing? So self-awareness is not selfishness. To be self-aware doesn't mean you are selfish. For me to be self-aware of myself doesn't mean I'm selfish. It is preparation for love. And you see, the love that you will share with your spouse is a love that has to be renewed on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis. Because there are seasons that I will be unloved. I will not be in that space, or I will not be in that character, in that frame where my wife will want to be. I will not present myself as loving, or I will do things that will not make me to be loving. But you see, when we are self-aware, there's something I usually do, even before I got married, because I know the background that I came from. Whenever my mood changes, I will sit down and I will probe it to the point where I tame it to the minutest detail. Is it because of what that person said, or how they said it, or where they said it, before whom they said it? I'll begin to probe it deep like that. And you see, thoughts have a way of unfolding. Like in my language, they say, Arokon, Lomu Ekun Asunsundawa. I don't know how to translate that. When you think and think and think, you just begin to get into some zone where you feel like, this person is wicked. This person is wicked. Meanwhile, it's what you feel, it's what you think. You can't always trust your feeling because your feelings can mislead you. Self-awareness is not selfishness. Being able to track, what is my emotion telling me? What is my feeling telling me? Is this feeling true? Is it real? Is it the actual thing? So the second blindness to your spouse. And this is another big one. Over time, familiarity breeds assumption. We stop truly seeing our spouse and start relating to a fixed mental image. A fixed mental image. Notice the word fixed mental image. Fixed mental image. I mean, have you heard that saying that your dad or mom will tell you, you are still my little child? Don't talk to me. Don't think you have grown now because you are married. No, because there's a mental image of you they have carried. And sometimes it's difficult for them to relate with you at the level that you are operating because they feel, you are still my son, you are still my daughter. So sometimes it happens like that to us as a couple. Over time, that familiarity is there. We've seen each other. So we stop truly seeing our spouse, relating with them with the mental image. So who we think they are That's what we relate with. That's who we relate with, rather than who they are still becoming. Because we're growing on a daily basis. We are journeying. Remember, yesterday we talked about the fact that you did not marry somebody as a project to work on, but a spouse to journey with. Every day we're growing. And the Bible says His mercies are new every morning. When you have the Holy Spirit in you, the dynamism of life will always come to you as a reality, because He will be dealing with you layer by layer, page by page, and you begin to grow. But if you refuse to, then it becomes a problem. So who we think our spouses are is who we are relating with, rather than who they are becoming, or they are still becoming. For example, maybe you and your spouse got married when you just finished school, maybe BSc, and then there is this dream that you want to pick up master's, PhD, and all of that, or you want to have some certification, you want to be qualified as this or certified as that. Then there is a kind of conversation that goes on between you when you were both BSc holders. But guess what? The moment either of you move into the space of master's degree or PhD, the conversation will change. Why? Because the circle of your spouse has changed. The relationships has changed. The interactions have also changed. The same thing happens when it comes to finances. Maybe one party has been schooling themselves on investment, on what have you, but the other party is not moving in the same pace. There will be imbalance. And then we'll be relating based on how we have managed finance when we were single or when we were just newly married. But now that things have changed, the template also has to change. So let's go to the third blindness, the blindness to possibility. Many couples have quietly stopped believing things can change. They manage relationship rather than enjoy the relationship. This is despair dressed as practicality. Now, what have you seen that is possible for you? What have you seen that is possible for your spouse? What have you seen that is possible with your marriage? What have you seen that is possible with your career? What have you seen that is possible with your children? What have you seen that is possible with even your faith or your walk with God? Because in God, there is no there is no end to possibility. In our marriages as well, there is no end to possibilities. Why? Because two are better than one, especially when we are operating on the frequency of couples alignment, vision alignment, values alignment, and language alignment. When we're operating at those levels, there is no end, no limit to the possibilities that can happen to us. And so many couples have quietly stopped believing things can change. You see, it doesn't matter how long we have been in that predicament, things can change. There is possibility in God because we are people who are connected to a source of supernatural possibilities. So when have you stopped believing in yourself? When have you stopped believing in your spouse? When have you stopped believing in your marriage? When have you stopped believing in your family finances? When have you stopped believing in the kind of progress you can make in your career? It's very important, because until we see clearly who we truly are as individuals, and then we see clearly who our spouse truly is, there's something I always tell my wife. I say, no matter what, I know the picture God shows me, and I have not lost sight of that picture. And until you are sent to that space, you are not yet done. I mean, it's amazing when God shows you a particular picture of glamorous future of your partner, and then you just hold on to that even through thick and thin or through seasons of life. It doesn't matter how life has beaten us down. As people who are connected to God, we cannot remain down. So please do not be blind to the possibility of your own personal life, of your spouse's life, and your marital life. Even as a parent, we cannot be blinded to the possibility in the life of our children. Until Jesus returns, until this world is no more, the possibility will keep unfolding. So, this is the concept that I want to talk about. The frozen mental image, a story of perception, frozen in time. After 15 years of marriage, this spouse still introduces his spouse as irresponsible one. I don't know what has happened in your marriage up until now. Maybe that thing that you really did not like, you didn't appreciate, and then your spouse did it or you did it, and then you have held that picture. It has made you to stop trusting or believing in them. And then there are things that happen to us that we just label ourselves. There are some words that should not even be found with us when issues happen. So this couple has consistently labeled the partner irresponsible one for 15 years and more. And then she was still married to the 24-year-old version of him. He had changed. She had not updated her site. Remember the story we shared before, that she was in that space where she had to ask, when did we stop looking at each other this way? And we came to that conclusion that the reality is they didn't lose their love, but they just lost sight. So in this one, the person that she was married to had changed, but unknowingly. She had not updated her site of the partner. And like I said earlier, there is a picture we carry, maybe when we were courting, when we got married on our wedding day, and then the first year of marriage, that is who we have said our wife or husband is. And then we carry that mental image of who they are. But we have frozen them in our thinking, in our sight, in our image, in our vision. We have frozen them in time over the years. That is who they are. So even when they are improving, we fail to see that improvement. When they are advancing, we fail to see that advancement. In fact, there is this woman in church back in Nigeria who was the one of the junior church teachers to our children. And once in a while, because she knows that we are relocated, she will just send the picture of our kids when they were in class in the church. And then myself and my wife were like, wow. So they were this young at that time. I mean, we're barely 4 years here in Canada, but the rate at which they have grown has been massive. And I said something to myself that, whoo, God help me if I had been relating with these children with the mental picture of who they were at this age and size. And it happens to us as well. The husband we married 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, we have frozen them in a mental picture of who they are, unconsciously or unknowingly. And then we have refused to update. We've updated our phones, we've updated our laptops, we've updated our devices, we've updated our car, we've updated our wardrobe, but this spouse, we have not updated who they are in our mental picture. So I call it perceptual freeze. It is a perceptual freeze. Don't marry a memory. See the person standing in front of you. Do not marry a memory. See the person standing in front of you. The memory of my wife, who she was, what she used to do, the kind of things she used to like. And that's why, sometimes when it's a shock when couples say to themselves, you stopped loving me, you don't love me anymore, you don't hug me anymore, you don't this, you don't that. And then it sounds like accusation. But one thing we fail to realize is it's a feedback that we should check and look closely to. Okay, so when you say I don't love you, the last time I checked, I know that I love you, but maybe I'm not understanding what love means to you right now. What love meant to you, maybe that's what I've been working with. But what does love mean to you? Because, like I said, we've grown and we're growing. We are having new experiences. The way your wife will feel loved when she had not given birth at all will be different when she had given birth to 2 or 3 children. The way your husband will be loved when she has the job that is bringing all the money or that is, making him feel fulfilled. The way you feel love will be different from the way you feel loved when he loses that job or is in transition of career change. The way we feel love will be different. Interpretation will be different. And that's why, yesterday I said something that we need to consistently ask ourselves, what does this mean to you as couples? Because what it meant to me is different from what it means to me. Just like the story of Abraham, when he heard, go kill your son. Imagine if he had not listened again to the current instruction. So what God said, he was working with it. But what is God saying? So in our marriages, what we have frozen as perception about our partner, is it still the same after 15 years, 20 years of marriage? So see the person standing in front of you, don't marry a memory. We all know this story for those of us who are very conversant with 2 Kings 6:17, where Elisha prayed for his servant that open his eyes, Lord, that he may see. Then the Lord opened the servant's eyes, and he looked and saw the hills full of horses and chariots of fire. The chariots were already here or there. What changed was not the situation. What changed was his sight. So can you see the chariot of fire that your husband or your wife is surrounded by currently? Can you see the new glory that they are wearing? Can you see their advancement and their progress in this recent time? The situation may not change, but how we see the situation definitely has to change. The marriage you long for may not be missing. I love this. Your sight of the marriage you long for may be what is missing. The marriage, uh, social media present to us a template of the kind of marriage or how our husband should love us and everything. But see, put social media aside. Put what you see, even in your mentor's life, aside. Focus on how the current situation of your own marriage is unfolding. And then let your sight be clear. Don't forget, we're talking about see clearly to be able to live fully. So the marriage you long for may not be missing, your sight of it may be. So how do we see clearly? Number one, see your spouse's needs behind their behavior. The spouse who withdraws may be communicating overwhelm, not rejection. The one who nags may be communicating fear, not control. Behavior is a language. Learn to translate it. Sometimes when we get a kind of message from our spouse, either in form of complaint, in form of drawing our attention to something, instead of us to actually see what it truly is, we just switch and say, why would you complain about that? Why would you even think like that? Why would you this? Why would you that? But the behavior behind their action is what we need to see as a language of need. There is a need that they are communicating. And when that need is not met, it will follow. I mean, we all know how kids will throw tantrums when they don't have their needs met. And mothers have a way of decoding what it is. I remember I was with a nursing mother. Sometimes when you have passed that stage, you tend to forget how those things work. So the kid was crying, crying, and I'm like, can you please attend? He said, don't worry, sir. I know what he's trying to. She already understand the behavior and the need that comes with it. Don't forget that in every adult, there is still that child that grew up to that space or that point and is still growing. So we cannot overrule that our spouses have needs. So we must consciously see clearly our spouse's needs behind their behavior. How do we see clearly? Number two, see your own patterns beneath your reactions. I said something earlier that when I see that my mood changes about something or at any point, I try to probe. I probe deep. Okay, is it the fault of the person or my fault? What exactly is causing this mood to change? And then I'm able to lift up my sword or machete or knife and murder that thought instead of allowing it to grow beyond level. So, are you able to recognize and see clearly your own patterns? There are things that we know deeply that even our parents have complained about them when we were growing up. And we are still in that same character. We are still in that same behavior. And we've lifted it over into our marriage. Because marriage will not cover all of those areas or weaknesses. It will amplify it. I remember my pastor always says something. We don't know that you are truly patient until you are married. Say you are quiet. When you are married, we will understand and we will know truly. So see your own patterns beneath your own reactions. I remember a couple I was, I had to counsel some years back. The reaction came from the wife to the husband on a Saturday morning. Yeah, I think it was a weekend, Saturday morning. They were just in the room playing, and then the husband made a move, and the wife just snapped and said, "Never in your life try that kind of move on me." And the husband was like, what happened just now? I don't know. But when we dug deeper, we realized that that reaction was coming from a place of abuse while growing up, that she refused to let the husband know on time. So we must recognize our own patterns, our areas of, growth behind our reactions. My friend once told me that her husband always used one particular word that she always reacts to when the dad says it to her. And then when the husband uses it consistently, she just goes, later she now realized that no, the word does not mean what she attached to the meaning of the word. And then they had to clarify. And then, so when they saw clearly, even now, when anybody uses the word, she doesn't feel anything. But it's because of what she has attached to it while growing up. So why does this particular thing trigger you so deeply? That's a question you have to ask yourself, because there's a pattern. Often, it is not really about the people. It is not about, we say here, own your pattern. Own your pattern and then deal with it. Lastly, how do we see clearly? See your family's potential beyond your current circumstances. Remember, we talked about the fact that we can't be blind to ourselves. We cannot afford to be blind to our spouse, and we cannot afford to be blinded to the possibilities. So we must see our family's potential beyond the current circumstances. There is always more. There is always more. What you see is what you build towards. What you see is what you build towards. Because if you can't see it, you can't work towards it. If you can't see it, you cannot plan for it. If you can't see it, I mean, if I see myself now as a global speaker and I own it, I believe it in that possibility, definitely I will work my way towards it. So your family, your marriage, your spouse, yourself, there is that potential for you to grow, for you to advance, for you to be elevated beyond these current circumstances, either financial, emotional. There is that potential for you to focus.
Yeah. All right. I think there is a network issue with his side, right? It's not from us. Can you hear him also? We can hear him. Can anyone hear him? So it's from him. All right, but it's round. Yeah, he's already
His
rounding up.
slides are changing, but
Yes.
we can't hear him. I don't know if he can hear us.
Yes. Okay.
Coach Prevail, can you hear us? Okay, I believe
It's almost finished.
he's
Yeah.
okay. I believe the network has cut out from his side. Nonetheless, we can engage while he rejoins. Please, if you have found this impactful, insightful, I want to see your emojis in the comment section. Okay, Coach Prevail, you're back. Can you hear us? Can you see us? Please unmute yourself if you can hear me and see me.
Okay, what happened? Was I the one that went out?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm so sorry.
The
Just
network.
No
noticed,
problem.
I just noticed that something went off and I stopped speaking immediately. Okay. So sorry about that.
No problem.
Technology
Of course.
is okay. So let me start sharing again. Sorry for the quick in transmission.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Uh, thank you. Okay. Okay. We're on the framework. Right. So said look inward first. Oh my God. I've overpressed. No. Okay. 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 Sorry for that break in transmission. All right. We progress. Look inward first. I mean, I was saying that, like Jesus said, before you remove the speck from someone's eyes, remove your own, plank. And before we point accusing finger at our partner, we need to do our own inner work. Journaling, prayer, counseling, reflection. We have to work at it. You cannot give from an empty vessel. And we all know that already. There is a space we know that we know we're empty. We know there is no reserve. That's when for us to retreat, not to be acting from that space as well, because we're not going to enjoy the outcome. So look inward first. The next uh, framework is invest in what you want to grow. What do you want to grow in your marriage? Work at it, invest in it. Where you invest attention, energy, and time, that is what grows. Date nights are not luxuries. Yesterday we talked about 20 minutes check-in weekly. How are you doing? What are you needing? How can I be of help? How can I contribute to whatever you're working on this week? Invest in what you want to grow. Is it your communication with your spouse? Invest in it. Learn how to. When you say, oh, my partner, once he's at home, he ignores, he's just on his device, maybe you don't know how to bring out that conversation with him. Because every quiet person have a topic of interest that brings them out of that quietness, and they talk about it passionately. So invest in what you want to grow. To see clearly, you must identify it and then pinpoint what exactly you want to grow. They are investments. Vision conversations are not optional, they are strategic. It's an overflow of what we talked about yesterday. You are investing into what you want to grow, and you will definitely harvest it. You will definitely get the returns on your investment. Then voice your vision. Voice your vision. Couples who speak about their future together stay connected through difficult seasons. That's the truth. When you communicate your vision, when you voice it, you let each other know, you check in on it. Oh, how far have we gone? Where are we? What do we need to remove? What do we need to add? I mean, I remember when we first got married, we had our vision statement and everything. We have the core values and all of that. But when we started having children, we had to revisit it so that we can incorporate what will also help them to live by those visions effectively. And when they become teenagers, we're going to have to review again because the conversation will be different at that time as well. So when you verbalize the life you are building, speak it to your spouse, speak it to your children. Voice your vision. Embrace the process. The E in the Live framework is embrace the process. There are no overnight transformations in family life, and that's the truth. There are no overnight transformation with your spouse. There are no overnight transformation with your children. There are no overnight transformation with your finances. We all have to embrace the process. Like a farmer, we must embrace the process. Celebrate small wins. Honor the effort you are putting in. Trust the process. Remember, you have to believe in the possibility. This thing we're doing, we believe in it, we commit to it, and then we follow through on the process. So the farmer principle is this. There are 3 sons. 3 plots of land were given to them. The first son did nothing on the soil because he feels the soil looks poor or looked poor. And this is a representation of a marriage. The second son planted but never watered. Effort without commitment. Then the third son planted, watered, weeded, and waited. What did they get? 30 times what they expected. So the same thing goes for our marriages. You can either be the first son in your marriage who looked at the marriage and say, this my spouse, I give up. This marriage, nothing good can come out of it. And then you do nothing. Or the second son, you planted, you are working hard. You are working hard, following through on all of those things we have talked about. So the third one, you can either plant, water, and then weed, because things will show up in the marriage. Family influences will show up. Bad debt will show up. Wrong decisions will show up. But how are we weeding them out to ensure that we still stay focused and we're seeing clearly where we're going together? Marriage is not a harvest you wait for. It is a garden that you tend. Marriage is not a harvest you wait for. It is a garden that you tend. You have to work at it. I have to work at it. We don't sit down and think, oh, things will just happen by themselves. No, we invest in it and then we wait for the return. I want us to do a clarity exercise. For those of us who are married, I need you to close your eyes. Please do it. Close your eyes. If you're married, please close it. Picture not your current reality, either as a couple, as a spouse, or your marriage. Picture that current reality, don't picture it. But picture the reality that you intended, the one marriage that you intended to have, the one marriage that you envision to have, the one spouse that you have seen with a bright future, the one wife, the one husband that you have seen your life together, even up to old age when you have become empty nesters. Picture your marriage in the next 5 years, whether you've been married for 25 years or 30, picture another 5 years from now. What does it look like? Where will the finances be? Where will the marriage intimacy be? Where will our vision be? Who have you both become in that picture that you are seeing? You know, there is one picture I always hold about when I've become, myself and my wife have become empty nesters. A lot of the time, people will joke with me and my wife, say, you guys, your sizes are not even changing. What's going on? I said, it's the vision, it's the idea. I said, when my kids are, graduated from school and when they see me in short knicker, their friends, they see me in short knicker around my girls. They were like, who is that your boyfriend? Not knowing that that's their dad. Why? Because I envision a healthy married couple at their 60s, 70s. They are still in that age, very young and up and doing. So envision it. What kind of family life do you see? Thank you for doing the exercise. The family life I am committed to building looks like this. Just say that statement to yourself and you can write it down. The family life I am committed to building looks like this. You can have more than one item there. Oh, the family life I'm committed to build looks like, just as I've described for myself, looks like, oh, it's 65, 70-year-old who is still looking very young, who is going on boat cruise with his wife, hanging around their grandchildren in knickers and, shirts, just playing around, having fun and all of that, going about ministering, helping more couples, like that. And then this is our take-home resources. We talked about couples alignment yesterday, the 5 reflection questions. So that's where we're starting from. I'm not going to go over them. If you are not here yesterday, thank God the video is there. You can go see it. So we have the couples alignment, 5 reflection questions. We have done this leave framework, the 4 commitments. You look inward first, invest in what you want to grow, voice your vision, embrace the process. And then remember, we also talked about a 1-page guide to your 20-minute weekly reconnection ritual. Just find what you want to talk about every week, 20 minutes. And then I'm recommending, some of these books for us. We might have read them, but there are so many other books out there. The Five Love Languages, Hold Me Tight, The Meaning of Marriage, and, a couple of them like that. So in closing, I want to invite us. You came carrying something. Leave carrying a decision. I need you to see clearly, build intentionally, and then live fully. I want to pray this prayer that may every marriage and every family represented here be blessed, be restored, and be renewed in the name of Jesus. Probably you are facing any challenge as a couple or in your marriage right now, financially, spiritually, whatever it is. I pray that the oil and the anointing of the Holy Spirit will break every yoke, will clear every foggy vision, and will help you and your partner to see one another clearly, see yourselves clearly, and see the possibility that God has destined for your home in the name of Jesus. Thank you once again, everyone. God bless you. If there's any question, I'm open. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Coach Prevail. Once again, your second session has blown our minds with the information you have poured out to us this afternoon, this morning, this evening. I want to say a huge thank you. We are truly, truly filled with the information that you have shared this afternoon. God bless you richly. We have 3 minutes, so please, if you have any questions before we move on to the next part of our session for the afternoon, if you have any questions for Coach Prevail, feel free to unmute yourself, write them in the comment section, or unmute yourself, speak out, or write them in the comment section. I love how Coach Prevail ended. He said, you came carrying something. Leave with a decision. Like, that is what a way to end your session. Thank you so much, sir. Please, if you have any questions, write your questions in the comment section. Raise your hand, and you'll be told when to unmute yourself. Should you have any questions with regards to the session, very insightful session we just had. Any questions? Drop your emojis. How are you feeling now that you have been given some tips as a married couple, how to enhance your intimacy? How are you feeling? Drop your emojis. What is your one word takeaway? What is your one sentence takeaway from this particular session this afternoon? We are indeed on a journey. We are indeed on a journey from yesterday into this morning to where we are now. We are indeed on a journey. Feel free. Everybody is saying, I feel refreshed. I'm still soaking in everything that has been said. Everybody is saying, wow, marriage is not a harvest you wait for. It is a garden you tend. Wow, that is something to be remembered. Thank you so much. Do not marry a memory. That is a big risk. The coach has told us that marrying a memory is actually risky to your marriage. Do not marry a risk. Any questions, please raise your hands. Should you have any questions, or write them in the comment section. If we don't have any questions from the audience, I will ask mine very quickly. I did have a question with regards to when you were speaking about reading the behavior of your spouse, knowing the behavior of your spouse, that if your spouse is behaving in a particular way, you shouldn't just draw assumptions from that. So if there is an instance whereby your spouse is not communicating or is saying that everything is okay, everything is fine, I'm fine, but you as the spouse, you are sensing you are sensing that it's not okay. This in itself can cause a risk. What would be your advice for that spouse on the receiving end who is making the effort to ensure that the garden is tended, but not getting the same reciprocal support from the other spouse? What would be your tips for us, sir?
All right. Thank you so much for that question. The honest truth is, when you know that something is actually wrong and your spouse is not talking about it, the first set of things you need to do is is there a way I am demanding for him or her to speak up what is going on and it's not getting across to them? Because the truth is, nobody will intentionally want to hold back if truly there is something going on. So you must first check what's your communication style about talking about that thing. Is your partner comfortable with the way you are requesting? Number two, is your partner feeling insecure about sharing that thing because they don't trust how you will manage their response? Because I've seen couples where a partner will say, oh, my husband is not opening up, or my wife is not opening up, this and this and that. The truth is, have they opened up before and you have mismanaged that openness? So they have decided that, oh, okay, let me give a practical example. Maybe growing up, a partner had issue with maybe an addiction, and then they have tested the water by probably disguising somebody as the person who went through that thing. And then your reaction became, at that level, how can the person be? And they, okay, I cannot, let me just hold it. Yes, it's that person that did it, not me. So you see the kind of insecurity going on with the partner now.
Yeah.
And it cuts across every aspect of our relationship. So if you on the receiving end, you have not proven trusted over time to manage feedbacks, they will most likely hold back.
Wow.
Take note, I said the first thing, check how you are asking. What's the communication like? Is it coming across well with respect to what they are comfortable with? Is it sounding to them like is disrespectful, is honoring, or is it coming across like you are truly genuinely interested in wanting to resolve that issue or that feedback? Then secondly, are they trusting you enough to manage the conversation, the communication, the topic? Do you get? So then number three, are they sure because you are close to, you have a close friend, you have a close brother, or you have a close sibling or a close parent, you will not take that information to them or that communication or conversation to them? So if all of these three levels, your partner or the spouse cannot tick them, yes, 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 there may be a form of holding back. So it sounds to the person like, oh, I'm willing to work on the marriage. I'm willing to this, but my partner is not being responsive, is not yielding. The honest truth is you have to dig deeper. And so what I would do is to, first of all, be conscious of my communication at every level whenever we're talking either casually or even seriously. How my responses are. You know, the same thing we say to parents that, oh, when your kids want to confide in you, they want to check first your reaction. The moment your reaction is on fire level, they just hold back the information that this mommy, this daddy cannot be trusted with this information. So let me not talk about it. I don't know if I have answered your question. I want to
Yes,
save our
indeed.
time, but I can go on, and so thank you.
Thank you so much. So the reaction and our communication style can make an impact even without us knowing. And this can affect even though that we're willing to make the efforts intend in our garden, our communication really matters. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. I cannot express my thanks enough. Indeed, you have done us well with the nuggets and information you have shared. God bless you richly. We truly, truly appreciate you honoring this conference with your presence. God bless you. Without further ado, we will be moving on to our next section. Who is here strictly for AI knowledge? Who is here strictly for some insights on how we can use AI responsibly? Please drop your emojis, raise your hands if you are here to understand how we can use AI responsibly. Who's been looking forward to this particular section? I'm sure you've been looking forward to all the sections. I'm sure because I have, but this particular section is for all. Please, I don't know if you've noticed. I noticed something yesterday and also today. Coach Oye Esther, there's times where she's by herself and she's alone, and there's other times where she appears with a gentleman next to her. You know that is serious because the both of them have come to learn together. So this is a section where the whole family is learning how to use AI responsibly, whether you are a child, wife, husband. Please gather everyone for this section as we welcome Mrs. Temi Adekoye. Please, media team, proceed with the bio video.
Temitope Adekoye is a founder of Thrivers, consulting and innovation practice working across AI adoption, career positioning, and digital capability. She is also program lead of the Responsible AI and Digital Inclusion Program, a public benefit initiative expanding access to AI literacy, responsible AI use, and practical capability for communities and organizations at risk of being left behind as AI becomes a foundational economic and professional skill. Her work is shaped by conviction she held long before AI became a mainstream conversation. AI should be a tool for empowerment and shared progress, not a new source of inequality or harm. That conviction led her to establish the Responsible AI and Digital Inclusion Program, which delivers structured, SDG-aligned AI literacy programs for communities, schools, and public benefit organizations. Known for making AI accessible without oversimplifying it, Temitope designs and delivers programs that equip individuals with the knowledge, ethical grounding, and practical frameworks to engage with AI safely, thoughtfully, and confidently. Her approach is values-aligned and built for real-world application, not technical complexity. She is a mentor invested in the long-term capability of the people and communities she works with, and the author of Mining Signal, Not Attention, an AI-powered guide to LinkedIn optimization. Welcome, Temitope Adekoye, to the Holistic Family Life Conference 2026.
Mrs. Temi, I think your video has spoken for itself.
Thank
The floor is truly, truly yours. I know this lady personally, and I've drawn from her well. So please, like I said, this session is for everyone. Everyone gather around your PC, your tablet, as we draw from this well. Mrs. Temi, over to you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Maleka, for that beautiful introduction. And thank you so much, the Vision Guide, for having me in this session. And I promise you, I really reassure you that this particular session is not going to get really technical. It's not going to be technical. And I'm not going to be speaking any technical jargon. I'm going to keep it as practical as possible. And I believe and hope that you will take and soak up a whole lot that will be beneficial to you as well as your children, whether you are single, whether you're married, whether you're a caregiver. There is something for everyone. So I'll just go ahead and share my screen. Just let me know if you can see my screen. Could you please let me know if my screen is visible?
Not yet, ma. Okay,
Not
yes, we're
Your
up and
screen
on.
is visible.
Okay, just a moment. I think my hands are getting really fast right now. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll just. Okay, I'll just reshare that again. I really apologize for that. Okay. Okay. So is my screen visible now?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So as I said earlier, I really assure you that this is not going to get technical, but just to help us to be able to position our children, as much as we all can see around us, AI is here to stay. It has now even grown to become an economic skill that you need to have to be able to even get employed these days. So these are one of the reasons why it is very important that we don't just hear about it. We are also preparing our children as parents, as guardian, for this future forward skill that they need to have. So I know that a whole lot of us, when we talk about AI, what we are thinking of is we are thinking maybe it's something that is coming in the future, something that is still forward thinking. However, AI is beyond that. It has gone beyond what you think is coming. If you look around you, right from your TV, your YouTube recommendation, your Netflix movie recommendation, even when you as an adult, you're on social media, you're scrolling through, what the suggestion you're getting on your feed are all done by AI. So it's no longer whether it's coming, whether it's not coming. But the question right now should be, are my children, are they being equipped enough to be able to interact with AI? Do they even understand the ethical guidelines that have to guide the way they use AI as they use it even in their future work? And even right now, what do they understand? Or am I just maybe just pondering or just putting so much fear on my children? Because right now we still have people who feel like, oh, AI is bad, children should not use it. So now let me just cut this across. I am not here to create a fear of AI is bad. However, I am here to let you know that it is here to stay. But how do you prepare yourself as a family, especially, and how do you prepare your children to be able to handle the use of AI properly? So by the end of today's session, we will be able to explain what AI is and what AI is not, what are the myths, the things that are not true, and what are the things that are really true about AI. Also, just okay, I just want to put this down. Okay, just a moment. I have this thing covering my screen, and I'm just trying to. Okay, good. Yeah, good. And also be able to recognize what are the age appropriate opportunities that are available for our children in this age of AI, as well as what and how can we shift our children from being dependent on AI in a way that it could take away their creativity, their ability to think and to do things all by themselves, to being able to collaborate with AI and build things that are sustainable. And also we'll be able to apply simple family rules that would guide our children to use AI ethically and responsibly. So the principle towards what we'll be doing today is that human leads the conversation. Human leads whatsoever we are doing. However, AI is a supportive tool. It's a collaborative tool. So think of AI as a partner. Think of, just as you use it in your job as a productivity tool, think of it also for your children as something that supports their learning, something that supports them to build skills, to acquire skills, and not something they become overly dependent on. And also, how do we put these rules in place to also verify the things that our children are getting, the things that they are being taught, or the things that they are learning through AI? And Miss Maleka, I would really ask that once 20 minutes to the end, could you just please signal, because I can see my screen on my time.
No problem.
Thank you. So as I said earlier, when people hear about AI, the first thing that comes to their mind is ChatGPT. But no, AI is practically everywhere, is here to stay. And how are you going to be able to build a responsible guidance? First, you need to be aware. You can't guide something you do not have an awareness of. If you don't know it's around you, if you don't know that it's already in all the things, your day-to-day activities and day-to-day life, you would not be able to even guide your children on how to use it. And if care is not taken, you might now even be taking away from them the skills that would enable them to have even a brighter. That does not mean without AI they won't have a brighter future, but we see as time goes on, you will understand what I mean by this aspect. You are not taking away from them capability that truly matters to them right now and in the future. So how and where do we see AI every day? As I said earlier, we see it on our phones, your keyboard suggestions, whenever you're typing, when you type I, it brings up I am. So what is doing that for you is AI, it's not magic. Also, the voice assistants that you have on your phone, your Siri, your Alexa that you use even in your car, those are AI. The photo tools, the things that edit your pictures for you, they are made by AI. The underlying system behind it is AI. And also, as I mentioned earlier, look at your YouTube, your Netflix recommendation, they are all done by AI. Even the gaming assistants, your social feeds, the things that you see on your algorithm, the things that are brought to your feed on social media are all done by AI. And now let's take a look at schools. So when you take your children out to school, they would have adaptive tests. All these things are done by AI. It is the AI that is the scoring system behind what, even for differentiated lessons now that we now have tools, educational tools that children use, the edtech apps like Khan Academy and the host of them that your children use and learn on and from. They are all the systems that are backing them are AI. So that means AI is already present in your child's life, whether you like it or not. Also, the homework support tool that the schools will usually provide you with, they will tell you, oh, we give you a code, log into this system rather. When you get there, you find the assignments there. All this, the backend system is AI. And I'm talking about productivity. You also use it in your work. Most of the applications, the softwares that you also use at work, they are all backed by AI. The underlying system, they integrate AI into them. And this generation is not the only generation that has faced a major technological shift. We could see it in the, in the advent of computer, people that were using typewriter also, they were reluctant. So it's understandable if as a parent, at this time, you're reluctant, you're feeling like, oh, I don't know what this is. I've even heard people think AI is satanic and all of that. But I believe that by the end of this session, I'll be able to take your mindset away from there into what exactly AI is. So every generation has had to face a major technological shift from typewriter to using computer. Now note that when computer came, and it became something that everyone needs to know how to use on their job. Not that everyone that acquired the skills of using computer did not necessarily have to become a computer programmer. No. So what I'm trying to say today is not that your children automatically have to become an AI engineer. No, they just need to acquire the skills or to know the skills and to use it properly in a way that they know what AI can do, AI cannot do. They know how to verify even the output that it is giving them. They know how to collaborate with AI in order to create, in order to work with it, and in order to also learn with it. Also, we had from internet to smartphone and now AI. So it's still the same thing. So the goal here is not that we are to adopt every tool. That means every tool that comes out, we are just adopting it blindly. The goal is to ensure that we do not leave our children unprepared right now and in the future. I would have loved to keep saying future, but the truth is it's now here right now. If you look at the job right now, most jobs, for those of us that, we are grown up here, we are all working, you see that the requirement now, it now requires AI readiness skill. So most jobs now, they want to ensure, they want to understand that you know how to use AI, not because they think that you should have the technical acumen, like you should be able to program, to code, no, but they expect that you know how to put in words into the large language models, the most popular ones, the ChatGPT, the Gemini. They would even write it there for you. They want to know if you know how to use ChatGPT. So what they're asking you to do is they are not expecting you to be able to code. So it's also going to be the same or even much more required during our children's time, because that is how the world is moving forward. So let me quickly break down the myths and fact about AI. A whole lot of us will think that AI thinks like human, but I'm sorry to break it to you, AI is not human. So, and before you can actually guide your children well as a family, you need to be able to separate the truth from make believe or what you think in your heart. So thinking that AI is human is actually not true. AI does not have conscience. AI does not have your family history. AI is not Holy Spirit. Oh, okay, for those of us that are not Christian, because I've also had cases of even we that are believers asking questions that are supposed to be, centered to God. So AI cannot do all of that. Yes, it can answer you in a very thoughtful and caring and confident way. It is simply because that is how it has been trained. That does not mean that it has the capability of a person. It can predict pattern. It does not have your wisdom or your conscience. Think of this. When the advent of calculator came, you can even right now we still use calculator. You can use calculator to, maybe you are going to the grocery, you are going for grocery shopping. You can use calculator to, check the prices to add. Calculator does not have context of how much you have, but it can only give you answers. So that's the same way AI is giving you an output based on the data it has been trained with. And the reason why of course, is artificial intelligence is because it has access to wider intelligence. In fact, I'm just trying not to delve in and become really technical. Your inputs are what is being used to train AI. So every answer you're getting is by answers of someone else's. So it's being trained by a wider intelligence, but that does not make it human or make it have more wisdom than you are. In fact, AI cannot be more creative than you. So that means when your children, they have AI skills or capability, it does not mean that AI necessarily or will become more creative. It's just that AI it has access to wider knowledge. It has access to my creativity because I use AI. It has access to every other person's creativity. So it will put that together and predict what you need and give you an answer. That does not mean that it becomes wiser or will make your children less wiser. Also, thinking that AI is always correct. No, in fact, AI can give you an inaccurate answer in a very, in fact, it will give you confidently. However, we call that hallucination. However, whatsoever is giving you is not correct. Also, thinking that the use of AI is cheating. It depends on how it is being used. If AI is being used for thinking to facilitate your learning or to ensure that you have proper understanding, that is not cheating. So this happens a lot, especially those that are in the educational sector, even for parents, when they hear that their child wants to maybe do something on AI, on ChatGPT, let me use, they'll be like, oh, that's cheating. No, the context of how it's used is what will make it cheating or not. And we are coming back to that. Also, thinking that AI is only for techie people. No, AI is not only for people that are in tech. AI is for everybody across walks of life, across the job that you do. And like I said earlier, I'll just buttress this. AI is a tool. It is not a parent. It cannot take your place as a parent, especially when you guide the use in your own properly, so that as children, they do not depend or rely on it for words of wisdom, for things that are practical or contextual to your family. Just like I said earlier with the calculator example, a calculator processes number. It does not mean that it has context of how much you have in your hand. So it is a tool for you to use, to collaborate with. It is not something to take your place or to take away your conscience. For instance, I can suggest maybe ways of, maybe you want to ask, oh, how do I resolve this disagreement? But note that AI does not understand even your child's emotion. AI does not know your full family history. AI does not know the child's history as well. So at the end of the day, when we are teaching this to our children, because the purpose of this is that we are equipped to guide our children to use it properly, that they also know that it is just a tool to be used, not something to replace them. And also talking about AI opportunities, like I mentioned earlier, there are different opportunities. Now, mind you, let me quickly state this fact that the ages that are on this are just ages to give context. That does not mean that this is legal, like this is the age it has to be. We could have a 10-year-old that can code. That does not mean they have to wait till they are young adults or 10 or 16 to 18 before they can do that. So this is just to provide context to certain ages and how they should be guided to use AI. So between the age of 5 to 10, at that stage, we are going to be looking at supervising our children. Is going to be based on guidance, because of course this age is credible enough and good enough to introduce our children to exploring this AI, to exploring stories. Let's take, for example, now, a 7-year-old could describe a story to the parent. And then you can use ChatGPT to make a character out of that story. That way, you are already introducing the child into how AI is being used. So age band here does not mean that, oh, because my child is 7, they have to be stuck at maybe drawing or stories, or when they use their AI, or that is the only way they can acquire AI skill. Please note that if your child has higher ability to do any other thing on this list, please feel free to guide them to use it properly. So what are the areas of exploration for this age that you can look at as a parent? You can look at stories, like I said earlier. This could be make up stories. You know, children, they love to make up stories and ideas from things that they've learned. How do you introduce them to explore maybe even simple tools as small as ChatGPT? They can make up a story. From that story, you can even tell the story to create a character that they can now draw. So that way, it is a collaborative effort on the, and what you're teaching at that point is you are not just teaching them exploring, you are not helping them to acquire skills of using AI, you are also letting them collaborate with AI, because they see you put in the prompt, they see what comes out, and they see that after doing all of that, they are also putting their pencil down and they are drawing something. So they see it as a tool that is helping them and supporting, not something to become overly dependent on. Now, from the age of 11 to 15, AI can now start supporting them by explaining concepts. So this way we are looking at, maybe they have revision, they've done revision. You can use simple ChatGPT to even craft quizzes for them. But even at this age, it is still encouraged to be supervised. So this focus can now be to expand towards, crafting quizzes. They have a draft. They can put their draft in AI tools and ask it to differentiate what are the things that stand out, what makes this better than this other one, so that they'll be able to compare and contrast the work that they have. Also, at this stage, it could be used as a language practice. For some that are very interested in acquiring other languages, you can use even the ChatGPT, the audio of AI models, to speak in your language and tell them to translate. So even when doing this with the children, they know that they are acquiring a new language and they are seeing it as a tool, as a support, not something that they could just depend on and put their entire information and life on. Now, when we look at teenagers from 16 to like 18, now the focus that they can have at that age can now expand towards responsible creation. This is when they can start even exploring coding support. They can use AI models. I'll keep using ChatGPT because that is the model that's like the most popular and the widely used at this moment. They can start using coding support. They can even use this for music. They can use it to create art. They can use this to even prototype their art. They can use this to storyboard. So, for instance, your 13 years old could even be asking AI to create 10 revision questions. So this person has read something in science about photosynthesis or any other subject, and they can now ask AI to provide them with revision questions. They should be able to answer them without help. And let's talk about the ones that are like 17, the ones that are interested in like music or art. They can use AI to explore that as well. And moving on to the next one, we have the young adult. This is where they can now even start using AI to do their portfolio work, because at that age, they are expected to start having their own professional portfolio. They can start checking their career exploration. Oh, these are the skills that I have. So I would like you to go through all the skills that I have and tell me what kind of career does this align with? What career pathway. Is it that my skill is more strengthened for, or they can even use it for data and research, the ones that work with a whole lot of data and research. Use it for simple workflow improvement, something as little as planning your next vacation itinerary. In fact, this can even be done by 10 years old, just to get them engaged as well. So it could be something as sitting together and creating your next vacation itinerary with AI and telling it to say it also in voice. So this kind of things, it not only strengthening their capability, but it is also laying a good framework for them to ensure that it is used properly. They don't see it as what it is not. And while we are doing all of this, one question that should also always be at the back of our mind is that it is not about, is my child using ChatGPT? I like to really emphasize on that. It is going to be that, what can this child use AI for safely? So because we've moved past my child should not use it, they are going to have to need, they will have the need to use it. So right now, our thought process should be moving towards, what can this child use AI safely for? How can they use it ethically? Are they disclosing, for instance, those that are using it for their project and research? How do they disclose that AI is part of this work and research? And are they using it meaningfully? So right now, with everything that has been said so far, your children can only fall into 3 categories. Whether right now, whether after this session, you start, taking their AI skills even more seriously than maybe before you just felt it's just something that is just around the corner. But with what you've heard so far, I believe that within you, you know that right now it is now a skill that they should have. So they would be on 3 different levels. It is either they are a consumer. Now, a consumer, just a moment, please. So who is a consumer? Consumer is a person that uses what other people have built. Now, necessarily, it's not like there's anything wrong with being a consumer. It is okay. We all consume entertainment. We consume new things, new ideas. However, the idea is that we intentionally move our children up the ladder. It's okay to start as a consumer. Maybe they are learning the framework of how it works, but they are not expected to remain there. So right now, you should be asking yourself, where is my child right now? A consumer uses what other people have already built. Is that where they are expected to be? Is that where they will keep being? Or a collaborator? Who is a collaborator? Someone that works with AI intentionally. So that means that a collaborator is the person that is asking AI to explain difficult concepts, maybe in math or in science, a terminology. A consumer is a child that would go to ChatGPT or use ChatGPT and explain the meaning of chlorophyll. And also give me 2 ideas or 2 concepts. Or maybe instead of photosynthesis, tell me why the plant turns green. And is giving, comparing and contrasting with what they already know. That is a collaborator, a person that sees it beyond a dependent tool, but a tool that they collaborate with to learn properly. And also, we have the 3rd level, which is a creator. Now, this is someone that is able to build a sustainable solution with AI. In fact, we have young children now, 6, 7 years old, that can now build something as little as games. They can now prototype games with AI. So this is also another level of AI capability. But that does not mean that if right now all your child is doing is consuming, we are not expected to keep them there. Our own knowledge is to help them to move forward and not just watch from a distance. So when we talk about collaboration and replacement, what becomes harmful, especially when it comes to the fears of parents, is that, oh, this is going to, take away my child's knowledge. My child will not be able to understand anything anymore because now they will just go to ChatGPT and they can just, download everything that ChatGPT tells them. So the question is, how do you move your child from being a person that can be replaced in thinking to someone that is collaborating? Let's take a look at these 2 different thinking. There is a write my complete assignment thinking. There is a explain this another way. Now I've put on photosynthesis. Instead of saying write it completely, you are guiding the child to say, explain this another way. Also, we are looking at tell me what to believe. Instead, ask me questions so that way, when it is asking me, I'm able to give the answers. Also, make every decisions for me. And trust me, people do ask ChatGPT these funny questions. It could be give feedback to my draft. So instead of a child going with or your child going with write the entire song and the lyric of this, maybe a child is very interested in music and decide to, create music with AI. So instead of write this entire song for me, it could be, this is my chorus, what they already have. Tell me what part of this, or suggest 3 ways that I could improve on this and why. Also, instead of just for children that love to code, instead of, because right now we have vibe coding where you could just go into any AI model and just tell them what you want to build and to provide the code for you. Instead, the child can copy error that they have because they already have an idea of what they are doing and ask AI to actually explain. In fact, I myself, I do have a GPT. Okay, I think I actually missed that earlier on. I have a GPT that I built for this that helps children to learn coding, and it does not give them answers. Instead, it prompts them to think critically with things that they are very familiar with. It uses familiar concepts to teach them how to code. But by the end of that exercise, they will understand the logic behind coding. So this is also another way to ensure that our children are not just being replaced in their thinking. So the idea and the principle that guides all of this is still that your child is the one that is leading. You are the one who is guiding this child on using AI and being able to, get the AI capability or the skills that they need. You are the one leading. AI is there to support. And the human, the person or the child, is the one that is checking to be able to ensure that whatsoever AI is giving them is correct, and whatsoever it has given them, it's true from the source, because AI can actually fabricate answers also. And then the human decides, am I taking this output or not? So these are the areas that we are helping our children to understand that AI is just there to support you. You still have to check the output. And also to be able to decide if this is truly the answer, or to be able to even fact check if it's true or not. So what are the 3 questions that can actually bring our child from a person that can be replaced into someone that is now using AI as a collaborative tool? So I know that usually parents will be like, oh, so how am I supposed to do this? My child is already going to AI. They're already asking, do my assignment for me. Now, these are 3 guiding questions that I've put together. 1, what did you already think before asking AI? This is very important, that our child is not just giving that assignment to AI, because definitely I expect that when our children do assignments, we review as well. And okay, knowing that by the end of the day, we still have some guidelines that will be in place that our children know they can use it. But after this assignment, when I'm reviewing, I'm seeing that the words, they tend to be higher than what my child would do. What I'm expecting as a parent, or what I'll be expecting that you do, is that, what did you already think before using AI? So that way, it could be before you open the tool, what did you understand about this science question, these photosynthesis? Now the child will explain to you what they already know. So which part would you check in your textbook? So now that AI has given you the answer, would you cross-check in your textbook and see that this is right? So that way, it allows the child to have this understanding of, even when AI gives me something, I still have to go back to check. Now, another one is, tell me what AI said in your own words. Now, even for the children that are guided while using it, they've read the story. You can ask the child to say it again in their own words. And lastly, do you agree with it? What would you add? So this allows the children to know that AI can't say, but that does not mean it has to be the final output. Whatsoever, like I always say, I would say, whatsoever AI gives you is a draft. That is not the end. That is not the end output. It is still very important for you to add your own touch, your own, the way you talk. It should not be that AI take away and erases even our children thinking, even as a family. So now, another thing I want you to have at the back of your mind is, you do not need to understand coding. You don't need to be in tech to be able to take your children from a person that become overly dependent on AI into someone that starts seeing it as a collaborative tool. These 3 questions are a very good way to start, to to ensure that when you're having the AI conversation, when they use it, they are able to understand that it is a tool and they are using it responsibly. Now, AI itself, as much as it's good, it gives us these ideas, it helps us to learn, and seeing how accessible it is now, children can even talk to chatbots. Even while they are using your phone, they are using it for the assignment, they can talk to chatbots, which means that they are also prone to giving informations that are not ideal or that can keep them unsafe. So what can you do? One of the privacy rule to carry in your home to ensure that your children stay safe is that whatsoever you will not say to a stranger in public should not be said to AI or any AI tool. And also, you should explain, and ideally, families should explain that any information that you enter into any AI tool can be used. In fact, depending on the policy of this AI company, it can be used for other things that you know nothing about. So this is something that is very important. Now I'll give you a scenario. There's a difference between, oh, I want to get an information, maybe something that has to do with a child's school, and you're saying, oh, my daughter, Envelope Noodles, attends Greenfield School in Doha and is having a problem with the teacher. How can I resolve this? That is too much information. Too much information. And people do this. They even put things that are even confidential from job, from their work, they might not know. Now, how do we keep this safer? By maintaining anonymity. You can create a make-believe persona that fits into the context of what you want to do. So instead of having our children or details about us, or even everything, our passport number, because we want to create an itinerary, then we start snapping a picture of our ticket, our passport. Those things are not ideal for AI to know. These are not informations that you can give. So the rule of thumb is any information you would not give to a stranger in public, it should never be given to any AI tool. And to also facilitate that, I put together, oh no, what did I do? Okay, I put together this family AI guide that I call guide. And I know that you might be thinking, oh, she's been talking, she has not given us any activity to do. Don't worry. I kept it. I kept it. I have an activity for you. I just want to ensure that we really get into this, so that I could have time for questions as well. So for this sake, for this conversation, I put together this family guide. So it's a simple decision check that you can use, whether your children are already using AI or after they will, or maybe they will even use it later. So the G here stands for go. So this is where you are asking, why are we using this tool? Is the purpose for an explanation? Oh yeah, Miss Malaika, I can see your hand.
Just giving you your time check.
Okay, thank you. So this is when we are asking, what is the purpose of this AI tool? Why are we using this AI tool? Is it because we want to get explanation? Is it because we want to practice, or we want to brainstorm? Do we want to write or analyze or make recommendation? That means that that child or your child should be able to describe what the tool will be contributing to that work. So before they use it or after they use it, you should be able to explain this. The U is understand. So what did AI actually do for you? Did it suggest? This is mostly after use. Did it suggest? Did it summarize? Did it generate something for you or rewrite something for you? The I, is it accurate or safe? So whatsoever you have gotten, this output, did you check? Did you fact check? Did you go back to your textbook? Did you go back to actually see books or conduct in-depth research to see that whatsoever AI has given you is true? Then the D for disclose. Should we say AI helped? Now, this is very important, especially maybe in schools that they have strict policy for AI use, schools, maybe competitions as well. Even for books, people now adopt the support of AI, collaborative effort of AI to write books. Is this something you need to disclose depending on the policy that is guiding your submission? And lastly, equip. So what did you actually learn? So let's say, for example, now a child use or want AI help with a science competition. Now the goal should be that, did you understand the topic and organize the idea? So what did you use AI for? What are we using it for? Now I'm thinking that in this regard, the U will be that to understand that AI has helped you to suggest an outline or simplify to explanation. So that child should be able to give this context and explanation. And also the I is that maybe the child has fact checked or has gone back to their textbook. And the D as well, depending on the school rule or the teacher's rule, you are to disclose that you use AI or not. And the E, what did you now learn from this exercise of using AI? Also, this guides across every levels and every age. This guide, it cuts through every age as well, that even with the little one, do you know why we're actually using AI to generate this image that you want to draw? Just let them say something. So now that we've generated it, what did you think AI did? Oh, AI added these strokes for us, mommy. AI added these strokes for us, daddy. Also, is it accurate? Now, what is the vision that you had? Maybe you want to draw a mice or a mouse. So what vision did you think that your mouse should have, a big ear or a small ear? Oh, maybe I wanted it to have a big ear. So we erase it and put your own big ear so they know that it's collaborative. Also, would you like to tell your friends when you show them that AI also helped you because it's important? Okay, yes, of course, I'll do that. So what did you learn? Now I know how to draw better or anything. So it is able to be used across every and all stages. So now talking about skills that will matter in an AI shaped world, because I mentioned that, as we all know, AI is not just tools that are just fashionable. These AI tools are something that your children will need. And also tools will eventually change, but these skills are going to stay with you and your children. That is AI fluency. How are you able to give clear instruction to AI? This is where we are talking about prompting. How do you want to ensure that even in this stage, your children, they know how to talk to AI, they know how to prompt? Also, privacy basis. Even in the future, it is still going to be very important that your children will know privacy. They will know the things not to give. Ethical use of AI is a skill that will sell. So, because in fact, like I always say, I would say cybersecurity is going to be the future, business security, because people that have given information that they shouldn't to AI, they will need this security in the future. So they will be making much more money. Also, thinking aspects. Can your children judge well? Critical thinking, can they still frame the problem? Evidence checking, even when AI gives them this thinking, can they check themselves? Also the ethical reasoning, also creativity. As much as AI is here, is in the future, your children's creativity will still sell. No matter how much AI comes, your original ideas still stand. And most importantly, AI does not erase human skill. Even in leadership, in communication, empathy, those are innate ability that you should develop, that your children should develop. So while we are even building all these skills, it is still very important that we tend that we nurture all these skills that our children has, because tools will change, but these skills will remain forever. And also, let me just quickly say that no child should be left behind. So because you maybe don't like AI does not mean we should not let our children have the skills and use it as they should, especially for the future. So now let's quickly get into the practice moment. I told you I'm not just going to be all talk, talk, talk. I'm actually going to be given a task. So based on everything we've said so far, so let's look at a situation where your child, maybe you found your child copying AI text word for word, or maybe the assignment they brought in from school, you can see that they've used AI. What would you do first? Number one, would you say nothing? Would you take away the device, or would you sit and ask? Please, I'll just give us a few seconds because our time is fast spent. In the comment section, please let me know what you would do in this situation. I won't be able to see it. Ms. Maleka, could you please just read out some of the response? So what would you do in this situation? Would you say nothing? So if we look at saying nothing, it misses out on a critical time to teach, a teachable moment for that child, because you already know that the child has copied directly from AI. Means maybe they did not collaborate with AI, the output was just copy and paste. Now, saying nothing, you have missed a teachable moment. However, taking away the device also, you have only solved the problem temporarily. It means that the child could still use it out of your presence, that you would not even know. They would hide it. However, sitting down and asking is the best approach. that would be used in this situation. So a calm response could be like, I can see that AI has helped you to produce this answer, but I really want to know if you understand what AI has given you. So can we close the screen for a moment, or can we just take this book aside for a moment and then tell me what you understand by this assignment or by this topic? So that way the child is able to reiterate and tell you what they've learned. So another thing I would want for us to do is that create an AI agreement. Now, it doesn't have to be a long policy, the one that looks like legal made it for us, but it could just be something that is as clear and as simple as this. So why do you need to create this agreement? Like we said, this is enabling vision. We want to ensure that even our AI use, there is a vision attached to it. Our children understand that what tools may be used in our home. Okay. Also, it could be what must never be shared. It could be something as little as we will never put our documents on AI tools. So that also will stay with them, because if we are giving our children all this knowledge, but there is no vision that is tying it together, as we all know, is up to nothing. They would not really understand what context, what are the guardrails, the quadrants that we must never cross. Also, I have when AI support must be disclosed. All this must be intentionally part of your AI agreement, just like we have like mobile agreement. I remember back then the session we had with Coach Oye, and then we had to create a media agreement. So this is also something that can be integrated if you already have that vision, to create it, to integrate it also into your media agreements with your children. So which tasks require thinking first? So in what areas do we require that you think first before you now go to AI, which means that before you tell AI to download anything to you, you have imputed your own thinking, your own original ideas, and who to tell. So when something feels wrong, who are you supposed to tell? When you feel like, oh, the answers I'm getting are wrong, they are not even age appropriate, maybe. So who is this child supposed to tell? So I'm looking at a younger child. It could be 3 for a younger child, maybe to ask first. Before you use ChatGPT, you have to ask mommy and daddy. Make sure you share no private information. And it could be also be tell an adult, mommy or daddy, if anything feels wrong about the tool that you're using. So based on everything that we have talked about so far, I would like you to drop in the comment section, what is one conversation you will be having with your child this week? So please make it simple and specific. Maybe right now you've never had that AI conversation with your children, but now with all that you have known now, what AI is, what is not, what is the myth, what is the fact, and also the AI opportunities that are available depending on the ages and the understanding and the creativity of your child, the skill they can acquire. What are the AI conversation you are going to be having? And also now we have questions that we can ask to take our children from being dependent on AI to taking them to people that now collaborate with AI. So I would like you to write that in the comment section. It could be something as simple as, I will ask my teenager to show me how they currently use AI for school. Maybe at school, maybe when they have their sessions in school, they use AI. So you want to ask them, how do they use it? Or maybe we would agree on what information we should never share with any AI tool. So please drop that in the chat box. I'll be going through them to read them. And I would be rounding up with this. Please implore us to raise producers. As much as we have 3 levels, however, it is important that in this world where we are in right now, it is important that we raise producers and not people that are just consuming, but instead people that can collaborate with, and children as well that can build with all these tools. So we are not just giving them these tools for fancy to show that we are 21st century parents, but it is actually making a difference into their life and their future. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Mrs. Temi. How insightful. Please, I want to see everyone's round of applause with the emojis, because that was very insightful, irrespective of whether you have children now or you don't have children now. That's, for me, please comment in the comment section. Has your mind changed towards AI? I think that's a major question that we should ask ourselves, irrespective of whether we are single or married. Has your mind changed towards AI? Were you one of those people, like Ms. Temi said, that thought that AI is satanic? Were you one of those people before this session? I want to see in the comment section. Please put your emoji. How are you feeling? What have you gained from this session? And please also, it's time for questions. Should you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand, unmute yourself, or type it in the chat. Ms. Temi, this is your time to ask Ms. Temi, our in-house AI specialist, the questions that you may have for yourself or for your children as a family. This is your time to ask questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister Blessing. I'm always very excited to talk about AI. So please, if you have any question in the next 6 minutes, anything regarding AI clarity, or maybe there's something within the session you think I should still maybe talk more about, please endeavor to ask, and I'll be very happy to provide clarity to that.
Okay, while we wait for people to raise their hands and write in the comment section, I actually have a question that I would like to ask, because towards the end, you've spent some time to focus on the fact that we shouldn't be inputting personal information. Are there any consequences that we should be aware of here on this platform to what the potential consequences could be, or are the possibilities endless and it won't be able to be asked in the next few minutes?
Yes, definitely. So recently, OpenAI did mention, initially when OpenAI, the company that has ChatGPT came, they were like, oh, it's safe, the information you put into ChatGPT. But now they are saying that it could be tendered even in court as an evidence. Yeah. So the things that we will think that, oh, it's just between me and ChatGPT, it's no longer between you and ChatGPT. Actually, and there are also diverse AI models right now that is not even ChatGPT, that are others that include maybe like facial recognition, and some of them could actually sell out data, your information, and all of that. So that is why it is very, very important that we do not put information that we know that if it gets out, if it's misused, it could cause us harm in any way. And also for some, even grown-up adults, they will just snap maybe a company's, they want to get some work done for the company, and they will take a picture and put it. There could be confidential information that should not get out there. So nothing is truly, truly safe. So that is why it is important that as we as people, we are building the capability, we are teaching our children to use it responsibly. The safety aspect of it is very, very important. I hope that answers your question.
Absolutely. In a nutshell, I guess as with any information, if it gets into the wrong hands, it could end up really badly. So thank you so much. We still have people writing their takeaways. Responsible AI use will not replace our input. Absolutely. Ms. Temi definitely focused on that, saying that AI cannot be more creative than us. At the end of the day, for those of us who are Christians and we are believers, we know that we are creative beings in the likeness of our Father. So there's nothing that AI can do that will replace us.
Exactly.
Somebody else said AI does not provide the final answer. That is very true. Whether
This is
you,
very true.
and for the parents, we have to remember to inform and advise our children of the same, that AI does not provide the final answer. So like Miss Temi said, go through with your children, ask, even before that you can encourage them to use it, sit down, ask questions, have a discussion. What do you think the answer is? What do you think may be the outcome? Before going into using AI, once AI produces the answer or the drawing, have a conversation again, because AI is not the final answer. Thank you so much. If there's any more questions, please feel free. Ms. Temi, I would like to say thank you so much for joining us for this conference to share your knowledge and insights and reframing minds. I'm definitely one, I can raise my hand quite shyly. You are somebody who reframed my mind from AI.
To hear that.
Before I engaged with Mrs. Temi, I honestly was very reluctant to use an AI. And I don't know if you remember, but when you asked me why, I said, because I want to use my brain. I don't like AI because I want to use my brain. God gave me a brain and I want to use it. But slowly engaging with her over the last few weeks and months, she's definitely reframed my mind. And coming onto this conference, I believe that you've done the same for so many people. So thank you so much. God bless you.
You're welcome. Amen.
Okie dokie. So, as we move on from our responsible AI use, we are now going into our final session. I don't know if the media team would mind just sharing the schedule very quickly so we can all see how far we are on this journey, because we are heading into our final segment of this conference, Holistic Family Conference 2026. We are gradually moving into the final section. If media team could put up the schedule so we can see where we are. Yesterday, we had 3 fantastic sessions that started with healing, couples therapeutic session. We then had a very fire-dropping, fire-intense session for the eligible singles. People are still talking about that session. People are still messaging me privately about that session, to be honest. And then we went into the couples alignment with Coach Prevail. And of course, the convener went through with us at the very beginning, Vision Enabler, which is the theme of the conference. And then today we moved over to Nigeria, where we had Coach Ayo giving us a therapeutic session for the couples. Before then, our honorable Coach Oye gave us an impromptu session. If you were here for that, congratulations. If you missed it, we thank God that God shows us mercy and it will be available on YouTube. Then Pastor Pat took us through a session of When Vision Holds the Home. There were so many nuggets dropped there, which was followed by the visionary father giving us many, many prayer points, as many could be held in the short space of time that he had. And we thank God for him. He tried to cover as much as possible, praying for those who are expectant of children, praying for the existing marriages, praying for intended couples, and praying for the eligible singles who are seeking God's face for marriage. And then we had a lovely break and we've kickstarted again the afternoon session, Seeing Clearly and Living Fully, with the Honorable Coach Prevail, who took us through the first session. And of course, we have just rounded up a very, very good session with Mrs. Temi with regards to responsible AI. So we are now heading back to where we started in the Netherlands with the Honorable Coach Oye Esther, who will be taking us through our final session of this conference, Rooted in Vision, Fruitful in Life. This is for parents and intending parents. Eligible singles, if you are here, please, again, I would say do not write yourself off. There are nuggets to be taken from this session. By the grace of God, you will get married. I always say I'm an eligible single, but I won't be single for much longer. I will go on to have children. So I'm learning so much for when my time comes. So please do not write yourself off. Media team, when you are ready, please prepare the bio for our in-house coach, Coach Oye Esther. God bless you as you do so.
Oy Esther is a visionary coordinator of the Vision Guide Limited and the co-founder of Oy Yinka Visionary Life Foundation. She holds a Bachelor of Technology, BTech, in Electronic and Electrical Engineering. Although trained as an engineer, her passion led her to pursue a lifelong calling in education, parenting, and holistic family life. She is a certified educator, special educational needs, SEN, instructor, child psychology practitioner, counseling psychology practitioner, therapeutic play practitioner for children with additional needs, positive parenting coach, family life coach, and marriage counselor. She also served as an associate lecturer at the Institute of Student Affairs Management and previously worked as an early years foundation stage, EYFS, coordinator. She is the author of Selfish Parents, Thriving in the Thrill of Parenting. A highly motivated family life practitioner, Oy Esther is deeply committed to transforming families through practical, purpose-driven teaching and coaching. She believes that strong families build strong communities and that parenting is one of life's greatest callings. Her passion for parenting did not begin when she became a mother. It has always been a significant part of her life through years of community parenting initiatives, education, and social impact projects. She is passionate about equipping parents and caregivers with the knowledge, practical skills, and confidence needed to raise emotionally healthy, purpose-driven, and responsible children who will positively influence their generation. Every year, she leads a mission team to Nigeria, where they visit schools, support underprivileged children, partner with churches to organize family life summits, and host a Visionary Teenagers Connect program. seeing what she fondly calls a growing glory children and teenagers flourish and fulfill their God-given potential brings her immense joy. Oi Esther walks alongside families during challenging seasons, helping them gain clarity of vision, rebuild healthy family relationships, and establish purposeful family values. She is passionate about helping parents heal from unhealthy patterns, intentionally reparing themselves where necessary, and create homes where every family member can thrive. She is the host of the weekly live broadcast Parenting Essentials, streamed across multiple social media platforms, where she shares practical insights on parenting, child development, marriage, and family life. She also leads a monthly fellowship known as a Visionary Teenagers Christian Fellowship, TVTCF, where she gathers teenagers together from different countries for impactful teachings and koinonia. Above all, Oi Esther is a devoted follower of Jesus Christ, a loving wife to her wonderful husband, and a grateful mother of 2 amazing children. Her life's mission is simple yet profound: to see families live intentionally, raise visionary children, and build lasting legacies for generations to come. Only the Vision Guides. Join us in celebrating and warmly welcoming Oi Esther, the visionary convener of the Holistic Family Life Conference, whose passion and commitment continue to inspire and transform lives.
Coach Oye, thank you so much for bringing us back to the Netherlands, back to where we began. We are looking forward for you to pour into us. The floor is totally yours. God bless you.
Amen. Thank you so much, Miss Malika. Thank you for all you do. I want to say thank you to everyone who is here at this moment. You know, it's been a long journey from yesterday, 3 sessions, this morning, 3 sessions, and this afternoon with the additional unplanned session. It has been wonderful. So if you agree with me that it has been an amazing time, if you are not just joining, because maybe some people are just joining us, if you have been following from yesterday till now, and you're going to agree with me that it has been an amazing time, I want to see your emoji. You don't need to type anything. I just want to see your love, your finger, thumbs up and every other thing. I want to see. Let me see. Has it been an amazing time for you? How has it been for you? Okay, in one word, how has it been for you? In one word. How has this 2 days transformative experience been for you? We've had so many table turning back to back. And I personally feel like if we hands down now and say, let's go, we have more than enough. We are loaded, because just as planned, and even though we didn't discuss with any speaker, you can see that by the leading of the Holy Spirit, one session is just leading to another and giving us more clarity. Even when I had to speak for about 50 minutes or thereabout the other time unplanned, you can see that I said some things that even from the AI is still coming out. I said, I remember, and I'm going to quote it again, say, my children are not going on the social media space as consumer, even though we didn't have a lot of time to explain that. And anytime we hear something over and again, that is because God wants us to pay attention. God is calling our attention to something in particular. And there's something that I bring out from this AI session just now. Just as she mentioned, one of the things we do is to guide parents. And one of the things we do when we are doing the family vision statement and everything, we do the media plan. So I put it down that, it is time to incorporate AI plan into our media plan. So that's another aspect. Just like Mentor Prevail also said, Coach Prevail said, as our children are growing, I said that also yesterday, as our children are growing from one state to another, it is very important for us to grow along with them. And he mentioned that as the children are growing, by the time they are teenagers, you have to revisit the mission board. So the same thing is applicable. At this moment in my house, we don't have the AI plan yet, like directly. We have what to do media plan, but directly only AI separated. So this is a call, a wake-up call for everybody that has media plan. Maybe you have your family media plan, but your children are now teenagers or they are preteen. It is high time we stopped and incorporate AI plan into our media plan. And thank you very much, Ms. Temi, for that wonderful session. I don't know if my mentor is still here. Thank you so much for always pouring. That was amazing. And I feel like we don't have to talk so much. I don't want to take a lot of time in this session. I want us to have time to talk heart to heart, to be able to, whatever aspect, questions, because this is the final session. And I think we have heard enough. We have heard a lot, even though God is not through with blessing us yet. But I will try as much as possible to make it very brief and then we can talk. I really want us to have a session of discussion and everybody pouring out our heart. And I'm going to start on the note that I said in the previous session. I said, parenting a higher calling. I've said this many times, and I'm sure a lot of people have heard me say that parenting a higher calling, but you don't even know why. I tried to say a few things yesterday, but I will try to expatiate this moment and for us to see clarity why parenting is a higher calling. But I will remind you what I said earlier. I said, it doesn't matter how many children you have. It's your decision. I know some people are going to be offended on some things, but I believe at this stage of time in this conference, we are all awake if you have been following. And some things that would naturally get you upset earlier, I'm sure that you are healed because we've been on a journey of wholeness. So it is high time you realized that even though you have 10 children, it is your responsibility to take care of them all. So there is no need to pick offenses because somebody said you have to take care of your 10 children as an identity. No tailored approach. These are reasons why we say parenting is an higher calling. And I'm going to be talking about rooted in vision, fruitful in life, not directly, but we're going to be moving out because I want to guide parents on goal settings. And because a lot of people have questions that I've received personally, and these questions and concerns are pointing to the direction of quite a lot of parent and caregiver do not understand what goal setting is. Rooted in vision, can I have my slide if possible? Rooted in vision, fruitful in life. At this moment you've been journeying, can I ask you, do you think you can confidently say now that you are rooted in vision? Do you have a vision now? I asked some questions yesterday and I said, carry them along throughout each sessions. I asked us to write some sentences yesterday. I want you to go back after this session. At the end of, just look at those sentences again. Are they the same? Do you have any revelation? Is it going to be the same or things are going to be different? So are you rooted in vision now? Congratulations, because if you can say confidently that you are rooted in vision, you are going to be fruitful in life. I talked about you becoming whole yourself so that you can raise an whole being. I remember saying yesterday that one of the gifts you can give to yourself first, your children, your spouse, is to make sure that you are healed, you're not wounded, a whole being. A whole being. So now that everybody is whole, congratulations. Now that we are coming to clarity, we are receiving vision, congratulations. But for us, can you confidently say, I am rooted, I am fruitful in life? Can you say that? So it is not enough to have a vision. It is not enough. The vision is going to be guiding you. The vision you have and is not guiding you is not working. And that is why our popular saying, we say only the vision guides. You might say, I have a vision, but is the vision you have guiding you? Because I have vision, this is it. Are you rooted in the vision that you believe that you carry? If yes, I'm going to say another congratulations. So at the end of this, I just want to be brief. I'm going to be fast, but this is what we want to achieve today. By the end of this session, we should be able to understand what a typical parent is. Who is a typical parent? Ability to be able to evaluate your parenting. What am I doing? Am I just doing que sera, sera? After everything, we have worked on our marital healing. We had intimacy session 2. We had a therapeutic session for us as spouse, but it's very important to embrace the higher calling in our hands and to evaluate it. Have evaluation on your parenting. You have to recognize unhealthy pattern affecting your parenting. And some of these patterns are what I talked about inherited pattern yesterday. And because of time, we are not going front and back. But if you are not here, please catch up the replay of all the videos. Know if you are connected or disconnected with your child. And this is one major thing a lot of people struggled with. What do you mean by connection? How do I connect with my child? So this today, right now, you're going to have that clarity. If to know that, am I connected with my child or disconnected? And you will also be able to assess your parenting style. Let me have the next slide, please. Every home, without any doubt, you're going to agree with me that every home needs a clear vision with everything that you have heard from our speakers. And before the home, let me talk about an individual need a clear vision. Even the singles, everyone needs a clear vision. But let's focus on home and family. Every home needs a clear vision. This vision cannot be achieved without a teaching priest. I said yesterday, I said, I'm coming back to that word, teaching priest. Do you have a teaching priest in your home? Who is the teaching priest in your home? Who is carrying, we are all carrying the vision, but there's somebody who is leading. Because imagine if we are all in the car and we all know how to drive. We cannot all hold the steering at the same time. Somebody must be on the wheel while we all sit down, and even though the person on the wheel might not necessarily be the one with the map, but somebody must be on the wheel. So who is the teaching priest in your home? Or do you even have idea, or you're just moving, you know what? It doesn't matter. You say your own, I say my own. We say parenting a higher calling. And something very profound that we said yesterday, that we are going to give account on all our children. The Lord trusted these children in our hands. They are called growing glory by me for a purpose. And I said in the short session earlier, I said we are supposed to unfold them. But imagine if there is no vision, if there is no teaching priest, the children are just wandering around without, endlessly. What do you think is going to happen to this glory that God has given to you? What do you think will happen? Because a family with a clear vision tends to raise children with an enabled vision. If you as a family, we have our clear vision, there is high tendencies, we're already halfway to that route, to raise children with enabled vision, because they are coming from a home that says this is who we are. They are growing to know that this is who we are. Knowledge and vision alone is not enough. Your knowledge and vision alone is not enough. You need the skill to pass it on. There are quite a lot of people that have, they are so knowledgeable. They have this clear vision, but they don't know how to pass across this vision to the next generation. They don't know how to push across, to pass the message across to their children. They are even waiting for others to help them. And they are going to school. You hear parents saying, like, I know what I'm doing, I know everything, but at least they will teach them in school. Is that the kind of parent you are? Is that the kind of parent you are? As a parent, always remember that God has called you into a higher calling. And that is your responsibility to totally stay awake, to raise these children in this consciousness of this is who we are. This is our vision. Your children, your unborn children, even the next generation, the generation upon generation that might not necessarily meet you, they are counting on you. So what are you doing now? What sort of leader are you? The generation unborn, they are counting on you, your assistance today. So to what advantage are your children going to say, oh, because she was my mother, or because she is my mother, or because he is my father? What is the parental advantage that you know for sure? I am glad God blessed me with this child, with children, because they are blessed. This is who I am. This is what I can offer. This is how I can unfold them. I'm not even talking about our immediate children. Let's talk about the future if Jesus tarries. Generation upon generation to come. So it is not enough to have a goal or to have goals. Implementation is essential, because a lot of people have heard a lot of things in seminar, in webinar, have vision statement, have this, you have everything. You just sprint. So that anytime they ask me, I can say, we have. If I ask them, how many of us have our vision statement in our house? I can see a lot of people say yes. I'm not ready to ask that. But my question today, my point today is not about you printing those documents out. It's not about you just framing them because it's good to do. But are you implementing what you say you carry? Because the family you build is going to reflect the leader that you choose to be. So we have to rise up to our calling. As we go today, as God has made us all, as we are stepping out in different capacity and different clarity of vision, Don't just let this day fade off. After 24 hours, you can barely remember whatever has happened. That is not what we prayed for. We are stepping out into clarity and stepping into our responsibility into the higher calling. I want to see you in the comment section. Say, I'm stepping out into the higher calling. I want to see that in the comment section. I can't see anybody type that. I'm stepping out into the higher calling. So today we are going to be getting insight on how to get our goal meaningful. How to get our goals meaningful with clear vision so that we can be truly fruitful in life. How can we get our goal meaningful? So we are working on understanding parenting goal. Parenting goal is not the goal your child is going to come up with. It is your duty to come up with the parenting goal that your children would need. So you have to know that parenting goal is key to achieving whatever you want to achieve eventually. So this is what I want to achieve. For example, let me use myself as an example. When I was an early year teacher many years ago, before I became a mother, I've seen so many children. And on this particular day, I saw a boy, this boy was so brilliant. I've almost not seen a child like that. 3 years, reading fluently and everything. I just said to myself, I was sure having a child was not something that I never doubted it. And I said to myself, I will work on this goal. If one child can do it. And that's why I said earlier that every child is teachable. I set the goal. Was I able to achieve it for my children? Yes. If I did not achieve it, does that make me a failure? No. It's good for you to set a goal and work on it. And don't forget that children they have their different capacity. Their make is different. But note, one thing is constant. Be it neurotypical or neurodivergence, they are all teachable. The pace might be different. The approach might be different. So I'm saying this over and again because I said this in previous session, because a lot of people, there's a way you just embrace your situation and just allow yourself to just agree that my own child cannot learn because he's on the spectrum, because she's on the spectrum. That is why I'm re-emphasizing that. For you not to accept that your child cannot learn, because every child can be unfolded or can be unfolded. They are all teachable. The map that you have is the goal. Whatever you want to achieve, the goal that you have is going to lead you to the place. So having the goal is a great start, but implementing the goal is a guarantee to the result. So there's a difference between creating the goals and implementing the goals. It's not the same. So I want you to begin to evaluate yourself as we go now. What have I been doing? Maybe you are the type that's always writing down, I have this goal, I have this goal. So check those goals that you have written down. Have you ever been able to implement them? Have you ever seen result? If yes, congratulations. If no, begin to ask yourself, why did I not get this result? Can it be because the goals were not smart enough? Can it be because the approach that I used to set this goal was not probably the right approach for my own child? Don't forget, every child is unique in their own way. And I said no tailored approach. So because you use a goal for baby A, does not necessarily mean that goal for baby A is going to happen or is going to work for baby B. And this is common error in parenting. And you hear parents saying things like, didn't I teach your brother like that? Why is your own different? Sweetheart, mama, that child is different and unique. So it's your job now to be on your toes and say, okay, what approach am I going to use for this glory? Not them, this particular glory. So it is very important for you to know the child you are parenting. Know the child you are parenting. Who am I parenting? Who am I raising? Because if you are setting a goal blindly without knowing who you are parenting or who you are raising, it's totally going to be a waste of time. Ability to know who you are parenting, the child you are raising, is one thing. It's already a parental advantage for your child. And this, most of the time, start with your parent-child's relationship, the parent-child connection. Oh, my child will not open up. My child will not talk because they are teenagers. We have things, we have words to always justify whatever is happening. Who is that child before he or she became a teenager? How was your relationship with that child before that stage? Many parents love to hold their children and play the victim. But it's so unfortunate that many of these children, this glory in our hands, are victims of parental ignorance or lack of skills. What are you doing with the goals? So imagine yourself with a new job. You are just, you resume a new duty. They gave you offer, but you don't know the job description. You don't know the job title. They just put you in an office, a very beautiful office, and you're very excited. Wow, gold-plated office. Look at the chair. You are even admiring the chair. The table is so beautiful. You like the office. You like everything. But nobody told you what to do, what position, what to do. But they told you have to perform. We need delivery. How would that be? I want to see your response in the comment section. If you find yourself in that situation, how will that be? How will you feel? What can you do? Let me see your comment. Let me see your response in the comment section. You don't even know the position you are stepping into, but yet you are expected to deliver. How can you also, how can you parent? My point is talk. Yes, talk. Very good. Somebody says talk. So this is the same way you parenting a child you don't understand. This is the same way that you have this role, but you don't understand nothing about it. So when we start to parent a child that we don't understand, we are taking a role, being excited, but yet without clarity, no job description. No job description. And it is not even possible. I will not say almost impossible. It is not even possible for you to get any result because you don't know which way, that way. Am I a secretary or the director or the manager? Just talk. So we are not leaving this conference with a stuck mentality. We are delivered. We are whole. So this is just a final wake-up call. And ask yourself, if you are into parenting right now, do I know the child I'm parenting? If you have adult children, ask yourself, when I was raising these children, did I understand who they were, who they truly were? Did I do right? Did I raise them well? If I say something, please take it. Don't take it personal. For those who have adult children, it is high time you stopped, evaluate your parenting in the past. Even though they are adult now, think about the errors that were made when you were raising them because you didn't know better and go back and apologize. Hey, did I break the table? Because some adults are unconsciously carrying trauma, a traumatic experience. They can't talk to you. They love you. That does not stop them from loving you. There is good parent-child relationship. But anytime they remember something that you did, even though you know now that, no, the way I hear that day, the way I embarrassed my daughter, you know now, but it's time to talk about it. Talk about it with the adult child and say, I'm sorry, I remember this happened. You will see how much you're going to let loose of your adult child. So let's go back to those who are parenting right now. And those who are going to go into parenting, you have not started. I always say congratulations. You're waiting on God. You don't know why God is making you to wait. You have to understand better because what is coming to you is greater and bigger. So we have to know where we belong. Have I done error in the past? Am I currently doing error? I will not do error. I need to be alert. How can you prioritize your goal? How can you prioritize your goal? How can you balance your goal? So you have to prioritize your goal based on your child's current developmental stage. This is one mistake that a lot of parents do when it comes to goal setting. My child is 13 years. And my friend's 13 years is doing the same. It's still the same tailored approach. You have to prioritize your goal, your child's goal, based on your child's developmental stage, not age. That is very important. It is not about their age. I'm not talking about their age. I'm talking about their stage per time. We've seen a lot of children at 6, they're already behaving like 10. Some at 6, they are behaving like 7. And some at 11, they are still behaving like 6. We are not judging. They will catch up. It is not a problem. We are not raising that alarm or that point as a problem, but the awareness for parents to know that per time, prioritize your stage, the child's stage, not age. So that is the only way you can get the desired result. You have to set a goal that is very specific, realistic, and measurable. And this must be systematic. Without a system in place, achieving this goal is almost impossible. So a goal without a plan is just a wish to. It's just a wish. It's nothing but a wish. So any skill you don't teach, don't judge your children. I'm still coming back to goal. But this is a common mistake also. Your 12 years is in the house. You never asked he or her to go and boil rice, or you never asked the child to make tea. The child is 13. You never said anything just because you went to somebody else's house. And you see that your friend's house, their 10-year-old daughter is making rice. Then you become triggered. Then you came home, you are back home with the annoyance and say, what are you doing? Didn't I see Jane? Jane is cooking rice. Hello, mommy and daddy, can you calm down? Any skill you have not taught your child, you have no right to correct. But many children are victims of this situation because we don't know that we have not taught them, but we assume they're supposed to grasp it just like that. But you are looking at me in the kitchen now. Aren't you supposed to know it? We play the victim. I don't know why. You are 12. How can that? Any skill you have not taught your child, don't even discipline them. That is why goal setting should never be an emergency. It is a systematic planning. You are planning, you want your child to cook, to mount the house by 12 years. When are you supposed to start the goal setting? That's what I'm talking about. It is never an emergency. So how do we create a smart parenting goal? How do we create a very smart parenting goal? Specification. I'm going to use the YW question to guide us. The W question. The first question you're going to achieve is, what do I want to achieve? The first question you're going to ask yourself. I'm going to give us 5, maybe less than, because of time, to guide you. What do I want to achieve? That is, when you're about to set your goal, the first question is, why am I setting this goal? What do I want to achieve? The second question is, why is this goal important to me? Why is it important to me? Another question, another why is, who is involved in the process? Who is involved in this process? I'll give you one more why. Where will it happen? So that is 4 why. You want to set a goal because you want to get result, not just because you want to say, I have a goal, but it didn't work. Ask yourself, what do I want to achieve? How is it important to me? Who is involved in this process, and where is it going to happen? So there are structures of goal. So when we talk about specification in goals, I said the goal should be specific. When we talk about specification in goal, that means you are saying what exactly should happen. For example, I want my children to be obedient. How do you plan to make them obedient? I want my daughter to be able to cook. That is not a goal setting. Specification is you saying how you want that child to be able to achieve the cooking skill. So this is what goes into your goal setting as a parent or caregiver. So your goal must be clearly stated, well defined. So it must focus on that particular aspect of your child's development. So many times we put too many things together. I want this, I want that, I want that. Some children cannot handle a lot of things at a time. Our job is to understand the uniqueness of the child and to know how many things can I put on this child. Sometimes we put pressure in the name of passion. Stop putting pressure. I think we should just stop the slide because I just want to run. I'm not following the slide. That's fine. Stop putting pressure on your children in the name of passion. I'm very passionate. I'm a good parenting. I'm into good parenting. I'm very, but what we do most of the time is to put pressure on our children. A child who is struggling with mathematics, is struggling with reading, is struggling with sport. Then you took, you are on the child's neck in the school for math, for English, for everything. The child now become confused. Then you think it's spiritual matter. Many of the struggles children go through, it is not spiritual. It is lack of understanding of the uniqueness of that child. So it is important for us to know, okay, my child cannot handle this. Let's do the math aspect in a fun way. How can we achieve it? I'm saying all this to wake us up, because a lot of children are victims. My love is for the children. I love you, yes. But my love and my sweat is for this growing glory. We cannot continue to make them victim of our own lack of skill. And I wouldn't want us to step out of this conference still doing the same error, God forbid. So understand and be specific. Have a roadmap. How do we want to achieve it? For example, a child who is struggling how to read. So what do you say? My child will read every day. The goal is my child. It doesn't work like that. How? You can say, my child will read 10 minutes every day after, you have to put there, after the lunch time or after then, after which an adult will evaluate the reading, and every week the family gathering will be there where we all share a fun story and we all give applause to the child to read out aloud. That is a goal setting. Not the goal you are setting that you don't even know what you put down. I say, didn't see what I put it on the table for you to read. We cannot continue to raise the glory in our hands like that. God has trusted us so much to give us these bundles. You think the child cannot read? It's your opinion. Do what you need to do, and you see this child fly. You'll be surprised and amazed because you have not taken time to unfold. You'll be surprised. Whoa, so easy like this. Because you let everything become a burden to that child. When you talk about reading, the child is already palpitation. They talk about mathematics, the chest is beating. That is not what we want to do. Do something fun. Twice in a week, all the family will be involved in math fun games, maybe by jumping on each tiles or walking through the stairs one by one, counting from 1 to 10. Everyone is going to clap for one another as we jump through the stairs. And when we talk about this, that includes daddy and mommy. There is no superhero. This is how much God has trusted you with this growing glory. You have to know that it's a privilege for you to parent that child. It doesn't matter what the report has said concerning that child. It doesn't matter what the school is saying. It doesn't matter what the pediatrician has said or the report has said. It doesn't matter the diagnosis. Let's even give credit to those who are raising neurodivergent children here. Well done. But do you know that God trusted you so much and he gave you that one? It's tiring, yes, but God knows you are capable. God knows you are more than able to unfold the treasure. Oh, my child is having speech delay. God knows with you that child is fine. Control and coordination is not there. God knows with you, you're going to create an enabling environment in your house, and that child within no time will get the control and coordination. So it's time that we begin to see that me being a parent is a call. And that is why we say it's a higher calling. It's a call. Beyond whatsoever we do, our family is the first ministry, even right from the foundation of the earth. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. We might be pastor, we might be bishop, we might be archbishop. It doesn't matter. Your family and your children are your first assignment. It doesn't matter how overwhelming. He said he will never put more on us than we can bear. I believe so much that you are so privileged and trusted by God for God to hand over that child to you. I trust you, my daughter. Maybe somebody is even crying right now. Coach Oye does not even know what I've been through. We've been to therapy here and there. And I'm here to say I'm out of my notes. And I know God wants somebody to hear this. I know you have been through therapy. Is it speech therapy? Whatever it is. Behavioral therapy, what is it? I know. But do not give up, because that child is unique. That child is a gift. It doesn't matter what they have given you as, you know what, there is no solution, just aspect. No, God has called you to that assignment. God has called you to that assignment. So no, I am on a journey. You are soon going to become a parent. No, so let me say this. For those who are not parent yet, I want you to know that this is a road that you have choice to take or not. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. I have my mamas here, they are pastors. They know that automatically when you are married, you are supposed to have baby. That's how God designed it. I believe God. But I'm not going to go on that route today. I'm going to tell you it's totally your responsibility to want to become a parent or not. Think well. If you are not ready to raise that gift God is about to give you, please don't do it. Enough of having children who are victims of parenting error in this generation. And that is why when I see young people, we are in love, we come together, love you, I love you, it's not enough when it comes to parenting. A lot of people are so blinded that they're not even thinking about their children. It's just, I love you, I love you. And I know, for me, I said it's okay, but please don't bring children into the film. Just do your thing. I'm not trying to discourage you if you're single here or you're married, you're thinking about becoming a parent. But I'm telling you the reality, how God wants you to behave. It's a role that you have to think about it. Am I ready to become a parent? And if you are, congratulations, because the grace is sufficient for you. So when we are setting our goals, know that goal is not an emergency. I remember I shared this with visionaries. I think we normally do this in the level 1 of our visionary course in the Hank. And I've shared this particular video many times. That one of the goals I had with our children when they were much younger is ability to be able to go to the grocery by themselves before the age of 6. That was one of the goals. And I was able to set the goal. What did we do? We started taking them to grocery from 2 years. They follow us. See, I have the first day video for you to know that we don't do things by accident. The first day they went to the grocery, and I remember I gave them R1. So we started allowing them to pick their things. Gradually, we allowed them to pay. And I remember the first day I asked them to go and buy something. I think they were like 5 years. It was not easy for me. My chest was panting. So not necessarily that the goal that you set is going to be easy for you, but note, it must be a reasonable risk. We are many here from different countries. I'm not telling you to set your children outside where it's not safe. So let's be underlining this. This grocery I'm talking about is within our compound. But even though it was within our compound, the first day I tried to run them going alone, my chest was literally beating. What am I saying? Achieving the result, the desired result, it is never an emergency. You are going to build it up gradually. You want your 15 years old to do something now. By 12 years, you're supposed to be on the path of that thing. You want your 10 years old to achieve something. Give them 3 years to start raising them. Not only when you see other parents doing things and you say, no, don't do that. Stop. Don't do that. I remember this day, my husband was telling me, relax, they'll be fine. There was another day I had to call the grocery. Did you see my children? So I'm not saying it because I am telling you Coach Oye is strong. No. I said, did you see my children? Did you see 2 children? This is how I was panting that day. It was never an emergency. We built it was built. But don't forget, it was a reasonable risk. That was just an example. I'm not saying send your child on an errand. It was just an example. I don't know what goal you want to set. Ensure that that child is not a victim of your lack of skill because you think they should just get it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. There's something I put down here. Let me go through my notes. Holy Spirit just reminded me because it was never my word. The cultured agent. The cultured agent. Till this moment, I'm still trying to figure out why the cultured agent. I think it was about 4 days ago, I caught this revelation. I heard this word. I literally saw the Spirit wrote it for me in the paper. And my husband understood the assignment. At the jump off my tree, I said, give my phone, I need to type. He knows. As I was saying it, he was writing whatever I was saying. So God is saying to us that he wants us to be a cultured agent. Having these children, we are the agent he has chosen. So we need to be cultured. We need to be ready that this is the way, this is the behavior that you want us to have. So are you ready so that I can go back and tell the Father that sent me to you? Are you ready to become a cultured agent? See, it doesn't make sense to me that I'm saying it now. He said, be cultured agent. So please type in the comment section. You want to become a parent? You're already parenting. Are you ready to go on this path of being cultured agent? Are you going to make Jesus proud and say, I am doing what he asked me to do? I am going to be cultured. I'm going to unfold these children. Yes, I'm ready to be cultured agent. Thank you. I am ready to be cultured agent. God is counting on us, not just in our marriages. He's counting on us on this seat that he has given to us. So as we step out into this space, within the last 2 days that we have been enjoying grace, let's step out with this consciousness. I am whole. My home is whole. My marriage is healed. I am healed. I am a cultured agent. The word cultured agent is the icing on the cake. God said to me to tell you, be cultured agent. Maybe he can give you more explanation about it. I know a lot of us have relationship with the Holy Ghost. So what are you taking away as to step out? What are you stepping out with tonight, this morning, this afternoon, wherever you're joining from? So beyond creating the smart parenting goal, make sure that it is practicable, it is achievable. Not that in the morning, my child is going to read for 10 hours. In the afternoon, she's going to do math for another 5 hours. Then at night, we will all run around. And when he comes back before bedtime, then he read 10 chapters of book. Is that achievable? It is not about saying, let's be realistic in whatever we want to do as we set our goal. So always have the stop and check. I call it stop and check. You have to have a periodic top, just like what Coach Conferece says. At the time, you have to evaluate. So as a parent, sit down alone. I always tell visioners, you have to have that moment of quietness. Maybe they are sleeping, just be alone and reflect. How am I in my parenting? So also have another moment for how am I in my marital relationship? But now our focus is in parenting. How am I? We are just stopping to check. Am I being nice? Did I say it right? But because a lot of us as adults, we see ourselves as principality and power to our children. So whatever I do it. You don't train or raise royalty like that. For everyone who has agreed with me that your children are royalty, and God has just chosen you to be the lead of this royal, you're going to agree with me that we are not going to maltreat them or mishandle them. Because if somebody is giving you a great offer now in the White House, somebody said, you are going to come to the White House and come and raise a child. We like your skill. We just love the way you look. And they just call you in. You don't have to be certified anything. They just chose you. And they tell you your salary, your wages is going to be $10,000 every day. You will not think about this twice before you take that job. And this child is so rude, can even slap your face. Some of us will still do it. So what about the royals in our hands? What about the royalty God has placed in our hands? Little thing, they just want to ask questions, you're already shouting. Didn't you see mommy is busy? Didn't you see daddy is busy? Just because somebody is not presently paying you dollars. So we need a mindset shift. I want to stop so that people can ask questions for a few minutes before we go. Mindset shift. My child is royalty, and I need to treat them like one. I am giving account to God because I'm a cultured agent. God bless us. The floor is open for questioning.
Thank you so much, Coach Oye. There's so much to take from that. And thank you for your transparency in telling us that you're no longer following the notes, because we believe that your passion and the Holy Spirit has led. Please, the floor is open. Raise your hand, unmute. Please put it in the comment section should you have any questions for Coach Oye. Any questions for Coach Oye? This is your time. Asking about parenting. Are you a parent already? Are you an intending parent? Do you intend to have children later? I think there's a lot of questions that we can ask ourselves, actually. Please ask your questions. Feel free to ask questions in the comment section. Raise your hand should you want to ask any questions. Unmute yourself. This is the time to ask your questions regarding parenting. While we wait for the questions, we are coming towards the end of this 2-day journey. Please, I would like, if you remember how many countries we have stopped in during the last 2 days, please put the number in the comment section. How many countries have we touched? How many countries have we gone to with our coaches? Nearly each and every coach has come and given us nuggets from a different country. If you know the number of countries we have touched so far, please write it in the comment section. Also, your questions, please, for the coach. Any questions, please raise your hand. Everybody is saying thank you. Thank you, my child is royalty. My child is royalty, and I would treat him like one because I am a cultured agent. Cultured agent, these two words I think should be our major takeaways. And as the coach rightfully said, it's the Holy Spirit to reveal to us what this means in general for us here who have attended this conference, but also as individuals. As we go away, what does it mean to be a cultured agent? Yes, Miss Temi, your hand is raised. Feel free to unmute yourself.
Hi, Coach Oye. Thank you so much for the amazing session. I don't have a question. I am just I think it's that analogy you used, that one that you mentioned, that if you get a job at White House and you are giving, and I'm just thinking, why don't we think like that towards our children? Because as someone, for me, that has worked in the education setting back then, I know you will have some difficult students, even though I worked with young adults. And, because of how much we are being paid, we don't flare up, we are not angry. However, when it comes to our children, we can barely even tolerate a little bit of their excesses. Thank you so much, Coach Oye. I think that particular one is just something that has stuck onto my own brain, because now when I'm looking at my son, of course, I love him so much. He's my everything. However, when I look at him now, I'm seeing him beyond even the love. I'm thinking of, if he's doing this, if I'm being paid $10,000, am I going to get, frustrated and be like, okay, not now, and all of that? So thank you so much, Coach Oye. That particular one just really stuck with me. Really, really. Thank you so much.
So
Thank you so much, Ms. Temi. Yes, please, Coach.
So as we move forward, as we step out of now, as we step out of here, I want us to step out with full intentionality, with full understanding, having full knowledge that only the vision is going to guide you. We had a session about eligible singles, marital relationship, healing, our partners. We're talking about our children. We have prayed. But with all these things, without vision, it's going to be a lot of waste of time. So let's live consciously that without the vision, it will be another time of, I remember I went to that conference. And that is not what God has called us to do. So step out consciously knowing who you are, that you are not bruised, you are not wounded, you are healed, you are capable, you are marriable, you are lovable. It doesn't matter what somebody has said to you in the past. Consciously move in that direction. Your child is royalty. My husband is a king and I am the queen. We are fine. Whatever it is, we can walk through it. Coach Prevail has given us some things that we're supposed to work on. Please take time to do them and walk out with full understanding and peace in your heart that only the vision guide. And congratulations, you are vision enabled. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Coach Oye, for rounding us up so beautifully with that information and that reminder. Ending with the fact that we should now be, and I believe we are all vision enabled. That is the theme of this conference, Vision Enabler. And when we started at the beginning of this journey, which was yesterday, there was one question that Coach Oye asked us, or two questions, I should say, which is, are you a vision enabler? And who is your vision enabler? Who's enabling your vision? These are questions that I believe over the last 2 days we have been able to answer or gain clarity of. And if we've not been able to answer, then these are questions you should definitely go away with and look into ourselves introspectively and look in our circles. Who's enabling our vision? Do we even have a vision for the singles, for the married, for the intended couples, for those who are parents seeking God's face for the fruit of the womb? We have prayed for you, or our Daddy Visioner has prayed for you already. These are all questions that we should be asking ourselves. I believe that we are in vision enabled, as the coach has rightfully said. So as we come to an end, I asked a question earlier and I haven't seen any responses. If you have been with us since the beginning of day one, how many countries have we touched? How many countries have we touched? I want to see some numbers, some guesses. There's no wrong answer. There's no right answer. I just want to see who's been keeping track of what we've been doing. 4 or 5. I said one number. Okay, 4 or 5. We have 4. Okay, I want to see how many countries have we touched? Which continent is missing? How many countries have we been to as a result of this conference? I said at the very beginning yesterday, this is a global conference with global speakers and coaches, and we were expecting for global participants, which we really truly thank you for the fact that we have so many people joining us from all over the world. Asia is missing. Yes, that's correct. Ire, saying that Asia is missing. I think Asia is probably the only, if I'm not mistaken, maybe Australia as well, the only continent that hasn't joined us for this conference. Okay, Qatar is Asia. I'm repping Asia. Okay, fair. Miss Temi said Qatar is Asia. I'm repping Asia. Okay, we stand to be corrected. Thank you so much for that correction. Qatar is Asia. So Asia is represented. We had Africa represented. We had Europe represented. There's one, okay, if you don't want to tell me how many countries, then you can tell us how many continents. There's still one continent that we went to that has not, North America also. Thank you so much, North America, where we had the privilege and honor of having Coach Prevail with us to speak to us on 2 separate occasions during this conference. Coach Oye, I want to say thank you so much for this honor and privilege of you giving me this, your vision, this, your conference, and placing it in my hands, trusting this little girl who barely knows what she is doing to host your conference, to Daddy Visioner as well. I hope you can hear me. I believe you can hear me. Thank you so much for supporting us as we have journeyed through this in the last few months of planning. There are 2 growing glories. I don't know if they want me to mention their name or not, who are working in the background. We cannot see them, but here we refer to our children as growing glories. We know that you have been working in the background and you know yourselves, God will bless you richly for supporting this vision. God will bless you very, very richly. And to every participant who has joined from the various countries of the world, we do not take it for granted. You could be anywhere doing anything at this time, or at any time you have joined us during this conference, but you decided to be here to learn, relearn, and unlearn. So we want to say thank you so much. We trust and believe that you are leaving here fully vision enabled. You have questions that you have to now go away and ask yourself, look introspectively. Coach Prevail gave us some homework. Coach Ayo as well also gave those married couples some things to be able to work on. So please do yourself a favor. Don't just be somebody who came and sat for the last 2 days or whichever session you attended and you just listened and you don't put these things into practice. This conference, for those who I have invited, I've said that as a result of this, we believe that our communities and ultimately the world will be a better place to live in, because we're fixing ourselves. We are fixing the home. We are fixing ourselves as individuals. We are putting things in place for our growing glories. We are building homes that are visionary. So please take these tools into consideration as you go away from this conference. Put these things into practice, and we know that you will come back with testimony. I need to ask the coach a question. Is this the final time we are going to see Holistic Family Life Conference? I know that I want to say, please don't let this be the last. This is the first of its kind, but I'm hoping that it won't be the last of its kind, but you have to promise us. You have to actually promise us. You can unmute yourself and tell us yes or no.
As God leads. We lead, we follow.
Absolutely, absolutely. I totally understand, but I can vouch. I believe I'm speaking on behalf of all participants. We have been truly, truly blessed. Thank you to each and every coach who has come and blessed us with, honored this occasion, these last 2 days, with their presence and giving us knowledge, wisdom in order to better ourselves. Coach Ayo, who was with us this morning, Coach Prevail, Pastor Pat, who gave us some in-depth teaching on the vision that guides the home. Daddy Visioner, who took us through a prayer session. Yesterday, we had Coach Chidima for the eligible singles. And of course, Coach Oye, we cannot thank you enough, the convener and the visioner, as to why we have been able to camp here for the last few days. We want to say thank you. God will definitely bless you richly. As we close, should there be any final comments, please drop it in the comment section. But I would like to open the floor up to Coach Prevail, who has taken us through 2 amazing sessions over the last few days. Miss Ginneka, yeah, sure. If you can unmute yourself, you want to say something, please unmute yourself. Please, can I? Miss Ginneka, if you can hear me, okay, you want to type? Coach Oye, I see your hand.
While we wait for her to type, you have also done what I want to do. I just want to say thanks to everyone who is here. And just to give an example of who a vision enabler is. Yesterday, I started on a note of who a vision enabler is. And I remember saying something that a vision enabler is not somebody who gives the vision. They're not going to give you the vision, but they're going to help you to come out, to understand, to do the best God has taught you to. They're not going to impose, but they're going to guide you. So such an example is Mentor Prevail to me. I remember when God laid this in my heart, apart from telling my husband, he was the first person I called. And I was saying, sir, I want to do a conference. And he said, what's the theme? I said, I don't know yet. He said, go and pray. Go and pray. Whatever God said to you, let me know. So that's an example of vision enabler. So he was not there to tell me that do this or do that. He was counting on me, guiding me to be able to go pray and hear God for myself and what God is saying. And I want to say thank you so much. It's not convenient at all, but he did it anyways. It was very early hour, I think 5 a.m. when he joined earlier this morning. He has so many things going on, but he was there yesterday. And I told him, you are coming 2 times. And he told me that I'll be here. I want to say thank you so much, Mentor Prevail. I want to say thank you to quite a lot of people here. Mommy Pat is here. For Mommy Pat, the way I treat Mommy Pat is like, I don't even think too much. I need you this time. I know sometimes she will just like that. This my daughter. She doesn't think about me. She just say it. I want to say thank you. Thank you for loving me the way you do. Thank you for always saying okay, okay, and just not just thank you for always being available anytime I called. I want to appreciate you and celebrate you. And I can see Mama there. I'm not sure she's still there. You can see an elderly woman on screen. That's my Mama in the Netherlands. I want to say thank you. She's been sitting right there since yesterday. I was like, hey, Mama, she's not going to rest. She's still there. I want to say thank you, Mama, for being here. Thank you for being here to encourage me. I'm grateful for the gift of you. And I want to say thank you to everyone. I want to say thank you to all the team. You have done amazing. We did this thing as if we were doing a program like we didn't care about the number. Maybe that was going to let you know. We know God was set to deliver a family. It doesn't matter if it's one family of 1,000 families. We plan as if it doesn't matter. And I want to say thank you for all the team for this conference. Thank you for praying. Thank you for fasting. Thank you for always, you don't mind anytime I send message. Thank you so much. The Lord bless you. I don't want to start calling names. We are all here and we know ourselves. Thank you. And just like Miss Malika said, I want to say thank you to those tiny, beautiful, they are not tiny, they are giants. God corrected me immediately. They are amazing, amazing giants nations. Beautiful, beautiful glory. They will say, Mommy, what else can we do? Daddy, what else can we do? Like the song that was generated by them, they will say, can we send the message? Can we do this? Well done. I don't know if you are hearing me right now because they're not with us right now, but I want to say thank you. God bless you. And to everyone who is present, maybe you were invited, somebody invited you, or you just stumbled on this Zoom link. I want to say thank you for coming. I don't know if Pastor Rachel is still here. Thank you so much. And every other person, God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. I saw Auntie T earlier. I don't know if you're still here. God bless you. God bless you. Everyone, God bless you. God bless. Over to you.
Okay, Miss Genica, I see your question. I will read it out for the coach. It says, please can Coach Oye give a sample goal setting plan for a 5-year-old male child, an example of what goal setting would look like? I believe that you can reach out to the coach after the session once we close, but I will give the floor to her, let her answer you accordingly.
All right, to get the best result about goal setting, and that's why I didn't bother to go in depth. I have some guide I wanted to share. However, to get the best result for goal setting, the person who is setting the goal should understand the uniqueness of the child. So we cannot generalize a 5-year-old. What are you setting the goal for? What is the goal for? I don't know the child. I don't know the uniqueness. I don't know what you want to achieve. So it should be a tailored approach for that child. We can have a general approach. Maybe you want to achieve reading, and I said example of reading. Maybe you want to achieve whatever it is, coordination, is it speech, is it language development, is it numeracy, literacy, art and craft, depending. So when you know what you want to achieve and you understand the child you want to pattern the goal to, then you begin to craft it. You know the strength of that child. You know what that child is not too good at. I don't want to use weakness. Then you begin to, at that child's level, there are general targets for expected age. For 5 years, for infancy, we have that, and it's all available online. But to pattern to a particular child, we treat that child as an identity, not a general thing. So you know the child you want to pattern to, you understand the child, then it's easier to guide you like that. I don't know if that is clear to you.
Okay, Ms. Ginica, I hope that answers your question. Thank you so much, Coach Oya, for giving that insightful response. I hope that answers your question, Ginica. If you'd like more clarity, feel free to reach out to Coach Oye on the various platforms that we have here at the Vision Guide. And I would encourage all participants, whether you are here or whether they have left already and you know people who have left or have not been able to be part of the final sessions, please, I implore all of us to follow the social media platforms at the Vision Guide on all social media platforms. The Vision Guide also has a website, www.thevisionguide.org. And of course, the Oya Yinka Foundation, you would have seen that logo on the flyers as well, the Oya Yinka Foundation. So these two websites will give you a bit more as to what we do here at the Vision Guide, what the Oya Yinka Foundation exists for. But I believe if you've journeyed with us over the last 2 days, you should have quite an in-depth understanding of what we do here. Exactly what has happened over the last 2 days is a representation of what we do here day in and day out. We here believe that indeed only the vision guides, and that is why our theme for Holistic Family Conference 1.0, I hope and pray, is themed the Vision Enabler. So please feel free to follow on all social media platforms at The Vision Guide, and our websites, thevisionguide.org and the Oya Yinka Foundation. Please, we want to say thank you once again. We cannot say thank you enough for your participation alone made this conference possible, the last 2 days possible. We want to say thank you so much. We believe that you are leaving with plenty. You can feel free to reach out to the coach as well for any clarity sessions or anything you would like to reach out to her for at the Vision Guide. She's also available. If, without further ado, if there's no questions that we would like to ask, we would like to call upon Coach Omotayo Prevail to take us out in prayer. Over to you, sir. Coach Prevail, are you here? Can you hear me?
Okay. Because I didn't tell him actually.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, is Mommy Pat here? I think she left.
I cannot see her. Pastor Pat, are you here? Can you hear me?
I think she left.
Okay, no problem. Daddy Visioner, over to you, please, to close us out in prayer. God bless you as you do so.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we just want to say thank you to you. To you be all the glory, to you be all the praise. We thank you for great things you have done. We thank you for the healings that you have delivered. We thank you for every life that has come into this conference. We thank you for 2 days of power, 2 days of healing, 2 days of transformation, 2 days of new life. Thank you for all the things you have done in our lives. We give you all the glory. If our tongues are to be turned to be like a sand in the seashore, it is not enough to give you thanks. We thank you for all the life that you are blessed. We thank you for the healings that you have released into families. We thank you for the healings that you have released, the access you are giving to that brother and to that sister. We thank you for the children that you have released. We thank you for the intimacy that you have enacted. We thank you for all you have done. We cannot thank you enough. We pray that the power of this conference will continue to be with us for days to come, for months to come, years to come, in the name of Jesus Christ. We say to you be the glory. Thank you for accepting our praise and our thanks. In Jesus' mighty name, we have prayed. Amen and amen. Hallelujah. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir, for taking us out in prayer. As I said, if there is no other questions, please do well to follow. The Vision Guide, your hand is still up. Is there something else you would like to say? Okay. Please do well to follow us on all social media platforms at The Vision Guide. Have a look at our website, which is the Vision Guide, thevisionguide.org, and the Oya Yinka Foundation, that will let you know a bit more about what we do as a foundation. Please go ahead. Thank you so much for joining us for this 2-day journey. We appreciate you. You are now vision enabled. Go forth and conquer. God bless you. God bless you. Music, please, media team.
Let's have congratulations in the comment section if you are still here. Type congratulations to yourself. Congratulate yourself.
Today we'll learn, today we'll grow, discover truths we need to know. Forever. Welcome to the holistic family life conference where vision becomes clear. Welcome to a place of healing, a place to conquer fear. Welcome to a place of feeling, a place to conquer fear. Together we'll